Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek, three toes. I will beat your ass.
Yo, you know how we do. This ain't no zoo, but we wildin' out like Lions crew. One ass cheek, three toes. That's the motto. OAC3T podcast. Let's get to it pronto. Got slinging that pitch, getting tight, spiral in the air. St. Brown making moves, leaving defenders in despair. Monty running through the D, breaking tackles all the way. Hutch on the hunt, ain't no escaping the day. One ass cheek, three toes. We coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, three toes. We on the ride.
Welcome to the show, the One Ass Cheek and Three Toes. I am your host, Nate the Great, and I got my guys here, Mr. Bstrilla and Jay. How y'all fellas doing?
Good.
Tired.
Yeah, tired.
Ready for football season to bring its ass home.
8 more Sundays.
See this?
Did y'all have a good?
The face of a man limping to the finish line.
Yeah.
Did y'all have a good 4th of July? Didn't blow any hands off or anything like that?
Hell yeah.
Nah, we weren't Najee Harris.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah,
Damn.
I didn't see what exactly happened. Did he lose some digits like Jason?
No, he didn't lose any digits. He had an eye injury, but they said he's going to be ready for training camp. I think what it was somebody was lighting off fireworks that wasn't too experienced, and because a lot of people got hurt besides him, and it was like a little bit of a crowd there, and it wasn't just him that got hurt, but it was other people. But still, as a football player, even don't trust anybody unless you know they do this stuff on a constant basis and they're good with it. Stay your ass away from all that stuff.
Yeah, man. It's not worth it. Let professionals do it, man. Seriously.
Exactly.
I think that, like, really, to be honest, man, if you look at some of the former athletes who's been injured by these, it's like it's not worth it. People losing their lives, your livelihood for that, it's not worth it.
Yeah, especially when you play athletic sports, you need your eyes, you need your hands. And so you're losing millions and millions of dollars if you do something stupid like that. So
yeah, man, I really don't see the point behind it, but I mean, I hope all is well with Najee Harris.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see y'all. We had a week off. We're ramping it up, boys. We're almost at the point where we're gonna have our show every Tuesday. Super excited for that. We got training camp coming up very soon. So yeah, it's ramping up soon. Like I said, 8 more Sundays till the regular season. So get your popcorn ready, or as the Lions would say, let's go hunting. I don't know if you saw the sign outside of Ford Field. I love it.
Yeah, it's a little cheesy, but anyway.
I mean, it is a little cheesy, but they're finding ways to get the fan base motivated or get people motivated.
How about let's just have a whole season and go to the Super Bowl? How about do that? We could be a great team during the regular season, but then we get to the damn playoffs. It's like, oh,
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I'm totally with you on that.
Need to do better this year.
Yeah, but all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We got a jam-packed show today. Jay, we're gonna start with you. What news or stuff on your mind you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got a couple things actually. We were just talking behind. Ndamukong Suh, he retired. I think this was 13. He played 13 seasons in the NFL. He played on a number of teams. He played on the Detroit Lions. Obviously, he started there. He played with the Miami Dolphins and got a big contract down there. Wasn't really producing, but yeah, man. Ndamukong Suh retired. I wish him all the best because even though he left the Lions high and dry to go to Miami, he was still a really good player. Really good player. Do you guys consider him Hall of Fame? I just want to ask. Any of you consider him Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I consider him Hall of Fame. He was pretty good. He had how many sacks did he have? He had
where was he? Where was he ranked?
71.5 sacks. 71.5 sacks. 214 quarterback hits. 604. Five All-Pros. 5 All-Pros, a Super Bowl ring. He's been in 3 Super Bowls. But he's only
that's
one
right.
win.
He had a Super Bowl ring. I forgot about that. You're right. So yeah, he is Hall of Fame. He is Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. And I look. Sometimes I just kind of look back and think like if he would have stayed here and the Lions had taken Aaron Donald, like what could have been possibly the best defensive
quarterback's nightmares right there. With Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald coming running down your way.
Oh hell yeah!
Shout out Brent.
So what's up, Brent?
No, I didn't hear nothing about Amiron. I thought it was just Najee. I didn't hear anything about it. I thought that was a fraud. That would be kind of weird. That's two running backs, first and second string, basically. Either way you go.
That is horrible.
But I don't think O'Marion got hurt.
Yeah, I hope not.
You need vision. You need vision when it comes to running backs.
Yeah, just from a humanitarian standpoint of view, I hope he's okay. If he did suffer any injuries, I hope he didn't get seriously injured and he can just bounce right back in. So, but anyway.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question if you guys thought he was Hall of Fame too, but you got to it before I did.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at I forgot he won a Super Bowl. So yeah,
not only was his production speaking for his all his actions, but think about everything else that happened on the field. Now, people consider him a dirty player. You know, with him stomping on Aaron Rodgers or what he did to that Cleveland quarterback where he grabbed him and slung him around.
Jake Delhomme,
that's one person that gave this team an identity as well, right? Like when you look at Ndamukong Suh, he played dirty, but he also got the team to play with that same ferociousness, that same type of intensity that he played with, right? And I liked it. I mean, he
toted the line. He toted the lines when it came to
But he made that defense tougher. I mean, let's really just be honest. Especially with Nick Fairley alongside of him. We had DeAndre Level, we had a couple of guys. They played with that same level of intensity. And, I mean, that right there just speaks for itself.
Yeah, when he was drafted by the Lions, number 2 overall in 2010,
he had 10 sacks his first year.
He stayed here 5 years. Yep, sacks 5. He stayed here for 5 years, and for 4 of those years, he was an All-Pro. Think about that.
Which means that he has best years with Detroit. When you look at it, when he went to Miami, the grass wasn't greener on the other side. He chased the money, but he really didn't get nothing out of Miami. He got lucky by going to the other team and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, to the Tampa Bay.
He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit with Miami. Like basically, Miami was a joke.
Yeah,
he just wanted the payday.
He played with the Rams in 2018 and the Buccaneers from 2019 to 2021. And that's where he won his Super Bowl with Tom Brady. In fact, Tom Brady even said it was great to have the Ndamukong Suh on his team because you don't ever like facing him.
You don't want that guy pulling down on your ass.
That dude was a very strong athlete. That guy, it's like a lot of people call him dirty. He did a couple of things early in his career that kind of set that off. But as time went by, he was
did very physical, job. Very physical player. Yeah,
it wasn't really many people that scared Tom Brady. And he was a guy that scared Tom Brady. That's really scary.
He scared a lot.
He scared a lot of quarterbacks. Yeah.
Remember Jay Cutler when he popped Jay Cutler on the shoulder?
Yeah. It's not many people that scares Aaron Rodgers. As crazy as it may sound, but he went out there and he made Aaron Rodgers' life a living hell.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, he'd be missed. I wish he would have came back, maybe a year or two ago when the Lions could have used him and he could have done some great things for our defense. But I mean, I was happy at retirement, man. He's somebody that
he was a fun player you could get behind. Like outside of some of the dirty plays he had, the guy just gave it all he got, man. The guy was full brute strength. Like if you watched him in college, he was no different than he was in the NFL. In college, he was making quarterbacks look like rag dolls.
Sure was. And so for anybody out there, whether it be just NFL fans or fans of the sport, whatever you think Kirby Joseph is dirty, you never seen Ndamukong Suh play.
Kirby Joseph is not dirty.
That was a guy that literally put his forearm across your face mask and he just didn't care.
I'm gonna tell you the difference between Kirby. I'm gonna tell you the difference between Kirby Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. Kirby Joseph is playing the game. It looks like it's dirty, but it's not. He's just making a form tackle. People need to realize what form tackling is now in the NFL. It's a different world we live in. Ndamukong Suh, he did some dirty plays. Kicking Matt Schaub in the nads, stepping on Aaron Rodgers, literally decapitating Jake Delhomme. Like those are some tough situations. But Kirby's not a dirty player. I'm so tired of people talking about that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Suh, like I said, Suh started off his career like that. He was okay. I mean, he did that kind of stuff. But as time kept going on,
he matured and
a lot of time he got penalties. Like he got a penalty one time for pushing down a quarterback from behind. But he's a strong guy. And I don't think that was a fair assessment to charge him a penalty. The dude he's freaking strong. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there, a lot of offensive linemen said that dude is a beast. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I hope Sue has a good retirement, and he does enjoy stuff. Sorry, I gotta get my hat. I forgot my damn hat. But anyway,
just to wrap this one up, I do have a question. Who would win in a fight, him or Penei Sewell?
I think that
I think Ndamukong Suh, he's just nasty. He's like Mike Tyson nasty.
Penei's nasty too.
Well,
but Penei isn't dirty.
Sue is, yeah.
I'd love to see that fight.
Penei is kind of like I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Who's nastier between Sue and Aaron Donald? Sue is nastier than Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald kind of backed down from Penei.
Aaron Donald was more power.
Yeah. When Penei challenged Donald, he was like, I don't really want too much of you. I'm going to talk stuff, but I don't really want to. Yeah, because Penei was like, no, OG, you ain't coming over here with that.
Another good battle would have been Frank versus Ndamukong Suh, because Frank could hold his own against some D tackles.
Yeah.
I get that.
Dexter Lawrence's,
the thing about
Williams.
Ndamukong Suh is that Ndamukong Suh, he didn't play within the rules always to win his battles. He always.
I agree, Brent. I think Sewell. I love Sewell, man. That would be fun to watch.
I like Sewell, but I don't know, man. I swear, it's like if they didn't have helmets, I bet you Sewell would be out there biting elbows and ears and all that other stuff.
Fun battle. That would be a fun battle to watch. That's all I know.
He would try to sink his teeth into your eyeballs. That's the type of person.
Hey, ask Jay Cutler, man. He literally got his ass taken out in one play, almost his career.
Seriously,
I remember that play too with Jay Cutler. But all right, what else you got, Jay?
Yep. So I don't know if anybody been watching ESPN. Nick Wright, he dropped this quarterback tier, and I just wanted to say about it. At number one,
Nick Wright, the guy needs a haircut.
Nick Wright.
At number one, he had Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I really don't argue that. I think Patrick Mahomes is the best QB in the league.
The body of work is there.
Differs, but in the second tier, kind of that pyramid, he had Allen and Lamar Jackson. I like it. I can see that. Third, he had the Burrow, Hurts, and Jaden Daniels, which is kind of surprising. I think you can bump Joe Burrow up into that kind of like right under Patrick Mahomes, because Burrow, he's really good. He kind of carries that team. When he goes down, Cincinnati's just out of it. The next tier, he has Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield, has Jared Goff, and C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about that?
I have a very big problem with this whole situation with quarterbacking. This came on a podcast, Woodward Sports, as well, and shout out to them.
I saw that.
But talking about Burrow and Goff, and people would say, "Oh, well, Burrow is 10 times better than Goff," but statistically, no, he's not. He's not. I want to know what 10 times better means. I want to know what 10 times. Goff has been to a Super Bowl, just like Burrow has. They both lost. But Burrow's been hurt 2 of his 4 years in the league.
I think.
I do think Burrow's better.
I think this.
But why? Why do you think he's better?
I think he's a little bit more accurate. I think that in the pocket, he's a little bit more mobile. I definitely think that he can carry the team.
Okay, let me stop that right there. Only reason why, no, mobile, I don't care about. You know, reason why? Because that's just part of the gift. That's it.
You can't blame Goff.
You can't blame Goff for not being mobile. That has nothing to do with the quarterback position. Your job is to pass the ball, not run like a running back. This is a problem that I have with people comparing quarterbacks to.
Jay, if you're gonna say,
I'm not saying it in a sense of mobility of like Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson. I'm talking about he's not flat-footed like Jared Goff is in the pocket. They have Jared Goff running drills to where he can kind of dodge pressure and not trip over his feet, because he's done that before where he's tripped over his feet. Joe Burrow doesn't do that. Joe Burrow has better footwork by a tremendous amount, right? And then when you say statistically, I look at it this way. No, I don't even think Jared Goff has the statistics as
John.
Wow.
Yeah,
John, you don't know shit.
But look at just last
focus on your
year,
whackers.
even with Joe Burrow being hurt, he had 4,900 yards and 43 touchdowns with 9 interceptions. He was hurt last year. You know what I mean? And then you look at Jared Goff's stats. I mean, I think we really know what Jared Goff did. And Jared Goff is good. That's my guy. That's our guy who he's rolling with. But I think Joe Burrow definitely is a better passer. I don't think he's more accurate, but I think he can put the ball in a spot to where it doesn't get intercepted as much as Jared Goff does.
Do we have statistics of those two compared?
Yeah.
Right now.
Jared Goff last year, he had 4,600 yards, 4,629, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and a rating of 111.8. Right? And that's just
damn good numbers.
Those are
damn good numbers.
Joe Burrow, he was 4,900 yards, 4,918, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a rating of 108.5.
Is that total touchdowns or is that passing?
That's total touchdowns. That's total touchdowns.
Okay, but
no. I'm sorry. Actually, no. I think that's passing touchdowns. I'll have to go.
Okay,
back and
so yeah,
look at that.
He threw a lot.
Joe Burrow, he was first in the league last year when it came to touchdowns. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at it now.
He balled out. So the things I look at with quarterbacks for me is completion rating. That's one, and touchdowns because that's points. So both Burrow and Goff are both on that same level as far as touchdowns. I mean, 43-37, you're really nitpicking. It's not that much difference. And then the completion rating, Goff, I know Goff was probably over 60 something.
65.6. Let me base this on careers, okay?
Go ahead.
Burrow's played half of what Jared Goff has played. He's played 4 years to Jared Goff's 8. Jared Goff's got 4 Pro Bowls. Joe Burrow's got 2, which is comparable because if 4 more years he could get 2 more Pro Bowls. His completion percentage is 68.6. 68.6 to 65.6. Jared Goff has. Passing, you can't really value the touchdowns because again, he's played. Jared Goff's played more. So his quarterback rating, Joe Burrow's quarterback rating is 101.2 to 95.7. They both actually have 12 rushing touchdowns, believe it or not.
That's funny.
And the disparage, it's not that much disparaging against rush yards either. I mean, Burrow's got 806 to 551.
Yeah, he's not really a runner. He's
not a runner.
Run. Yeah, he's not.
Not.
I mean, they're comparative. They're very comparative. I think Joe Burrow is a amped up version of Jared Goff. That's how I look at it. I think Jared Goff is more like a slothy type of quarterback where Joe Burrow is more quick.
Can we get that
slothy.
Word? Slothy?
Yes. And he has better footwork. I mean, that's why we call him the sloth, right?
He can ad-lib more, but Burrow can ad-lib more. Like if you saw the quarterback when we talk about it, he made some plays that, Jared Goff probably wouldn't be able to do, But here's the thing between those two quarterbacks, and B kind of took my thunder a little bit on this. The reason why people say Joe Burrow is better than Goff, because statistically they're about the same. They've both been to Super Bowls. They're both really good quarterbacks. They don't turn the ball over at a high rate. They're very high in completion ratings. They throw a lot of touchdowns. They struggle with a lot of pressure put at them. It's the bravado that Burrow has. If you watch the quarterback, you see 2 different bravados. You see the flashy, the Joe Cool, the chill, the kind of lackadaisical at times with him too. Like that's just who Joe Burrow is. And then you look at Goff. Goff's like the businessman. He's like the guy who just goes in and does his thing and then leaves and goes home. Yeah. He's not there. He's not there for flash and dash. He's not there for the limelight. He's just there to do his job.
Personality, I'd say, than Jared Goff too. But Joe Burrow, he's only been in the league for 4 years. Right. I think he's entering in his 5th year. I mean, he has a ton of room to get better, and he's probably just hitting his prime. But the pundits will tell you that Joe Burrow provides more of a stronger bravado than Goff does. Goff is like vanilla ice cream. Like it's good, but
you want to add things to it to make him great. To whereas Burrow's like, I don't know, your favorite ice cream that's got a lot of kick to it. Like he already, like coming into Cincinnati, he already had that Joe Cool mentality. He already was that kind of dude, and if you watch the quarterback, his parents are a big reason why, especially his mom. That's why he got into fashion. You know what I'm saying? So he puts himself out there more. Jared Goff's just a guy with a really hot ass wife that goes home and does his business and then goes back and then just rinse and repeat. That's all.
You could say it kind of like this: Joe Burrow is like the kid, and Jared Goff is like the adult.
Yeah. No, you're right.
The most thing though, I think that's the difference between Jared Goff and Joe Burrow. You said, Joe Burrow does not fold under. He's had no offensive line. That's exactly the reason why his ass has been hurt a couple of those years, because of that offensive line. But that dude got to a Super Bowl with a rusty offensive line. So the dude knows how to play out of pocket. And did you see some of the plays that he made last year out of pocket? When that one touchdown he threw when he was falling down, I mean, he was practically on his knees. Dude has gumption. I don't think Goff has the same ability in that situation, because that's not an agility play. It's just a play that you're trying to extend. Goff has a different mindset when it comes to that. So that's where I think that people have to understand that Goff is not an agile. He's a pocket quarterback. He's a stubborn pocket quarterback.
Straight pocket quarterback, exactly.
So he's
drop back and pass, drop back.
And also too, he doesn't hold on to the ball a lot. Joe Burrow is going to try to make plays like a Lamar Jackson, like a Josh Allen. They're going to hold the ball on as much as they can. To where Goff's either going to get rid of it or he's going to get sacked. He's not going to play around. He knows what his limitations are.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that, Robbie. The kid, he's a sloth. Yeah.
I definitely tell you that Joe Burrow has more arm strength than arm talent, though. I definitely tell you that much for sure too. That's why Burrow, him and Jamar Chase is just like that perfect combo. That combo made in heaven. Like, dude, those two together is damn.
Joe Burrow.
I think that's from the fact that they played college together too, so that helps out a lot.
Yeah, and also too, Joe Burrow's like a lot better version of Baker Mayfield. Like more talented. But they have the bravado.
You know who Joe Burrow reminds me of? Matt Stafford. Without the turnovers.
But the personality doesn't match Matt Stafford. Like that's why I said Baker Mayfield, because Baker and Joe Burrow's personalities are very similar. Like very arrogant, very cocky, very lackadaisical at times. But they're gamers. They're tough. They're gritty. They're gonna do whatever they can to win. But as far as
the mentality of them having gunslinging mentalities, I think that Joe Burrow has that gunslinger mentality, kind of like Matt Stafford does. Matt Stafford doesn't take care of the ball as well as Joe does.
Really quick, the Seattle Mariners has blasted 2 back-to-back home runs against Kane.
5 home runs. They've hit 5 home runs, dude.
Damn.
So it's 5-4.
Home runs, man. That is crazy.
5-4.
Anyways, yeah. So
all right, back to football.
I just want to finish off with this list really quick. I know we kind of
go for it
a little bit, but in that tier of Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Jane Daniels, then you got Stafford, Baker Mayfield, Goff, Stroud, followed by Herbert, Love, Dak, Geno Smith, and Brock Purdy. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tagovailoa, Sam Darnold, and then Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers, Penix, surprise, Bryce Young, Justin Fields, J.J. McCarthy, and Cam Ward.
Yeah, I agree.
That is actually a pretty good list by Nick.
His bottom list makes a lot of sense. You can't.
I think the whole list in general is pretty good. I think you're right. Burrow needs to go up a notch. I think Goff is fine where he is, because that's the consensus of most people. But like I said, if you look into football more than between the lines and say, hey, it's not about agility. It's because you got agility. You can't fault Goff for that, and you can't fault Joe Burrow for that. So it's just what it is. But pretty much Nick Wrong got it right that time.
Let me ask you all this question. So we pretty much agree Mahomes is by himself right now because of his track record, his record, and all that stuff. And then you've got Lamar Jackson and you've got Josh Allen as the next tier. After those two, who do you see jumping up into that category with a Lamar Jackson, with a Josh Allen?
I say Joe Burrow, man.
Okay.
I say Burrow should be up there in that tier.
B, who do you say?
Well,
you said Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably put Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen all in the same tier. Only because Patrick Mahomes has not been statistically real good. Remember, quarterbacks don't get to the Super Bowl. A whole team does. So if your team is going, last year, Spagnuolo had that defense playing pretty well. So that defense saved them a lot of games.
Sure. They won 11 one-win games.
Yeah, so I mean, you gotta understand that. I think that and Lamar and Josh, the only problems with them is they can't get over the hump. They can't get to that. They both been in championship games, but they haven't done anything with it. And I know it, and I don't go by wins and records with quarterbacks, but I do go with how you lead your team. And Lamar's been in this league for what? This is his 7th year right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going on his 7th year. And he said he's going to win a Super Bowl in by year 5, and he hasn't done that yet. So that's why I said don't speak into existence something that might not happen. And winning a Super Bowl is hard as hell to do. Josh Allen is another one.
Josh hard as hell. That's the Lions.
Josh Allen's another one. I mean, he can't get past the Kansas City Chiefs. They can beat everybody else, just can't beat the Chiefs.
Right.
And it's crazy in the AFC. They got really good quarterback play, and I mean, I would put that and I would bring Burrow up there if he can go out there and be like a mixture of Stafford and Goff, where he carries the offense, because the defense is horrid right now. And none of them players signed. That defense is crap. You're going to be able to score like 400 points on them.
He's got his 2 best receivers, so they'll put up points.
They'll put up points, but then you if you run into a good defense, you can stop that.
So if you take Patrick Mahomes off of the Kansas City Chiefs and put him with the Baltimore Ravens, do we get Super Bowls there? And you put Lamar Jackson with the Kansas City Chiefs, do he get at least to the Super Bowl?
Lamar Jackson will get a Super Bowl with the Chiefs.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so, because
I do. You want to know why? Andy Reid's a better coach.
Yeah,
and than Harbaugh.
He came up a lot of.
I'll agree that Andy Reid is the best head coach in the league right now. But think about this: you're not going to have Derrick Henry. You're not going to have Isaiah Likely. You're not going to have,
He would have to be a better thrower. He'd have to be a better thrower with the Chiefs.
You're not going to have any number 1 receivers. Think about it. All of Patrick Mahomes' receivers went down last year.
But you get a lot more flair and a lot more explosion with Lamar Jackson.
You get more flair and more explosion, but I think
it kind of offsets a little bit.
If you take Patrick Mahomes you put him on the Baltimore Ravens, I think he still has that same game, right?
Sure,
he's still
they have a hell of a defense.
Well versed in what he do. But if you put Lamar Jackson on the Chiefs, you're going to turn him into something that he's probably not able to do, because you don't see Patrick Mahomes just shoot out for 60-yard runs. He is sit in the pocket and take hits. He is sit in the pocket and take risky throws. Lamar Jackson isn't going to do that.
I would say this, Jay. If you put Patrick Mahomes on the Ravens, with the current roster he has, he's probably winning almost 6 or 5 Super Bowls, because he's got everything you need. He's got the receivers, he's got running backs, he's got line, he's got the defense is outstanding,
crazy good.
Like, he doesn't have to be all world sometimes. Like, sometimes with the Chiefs, he had to be all world, and he had to like take over games.
But so what are you saying? Because Lamar Jackson he's had that same format on his team for the last few years. Don't get it twisted. The Ravens have been a very good team.
They have.
The last 4 or 5 years. So he hasn't won anything. I don't think Patrick Mahomes magically is going to help them win anything either. It's all about coaching. Coaching matters in the NFL. I'm sorry, it matters.
But John Harbaugh is a good coach.
He's not better than Reed. That's the
No,
point.
he's not as play caller. No.
If Jackson is on Kansas City, he would win the Super Bowl because he'd actually have better receivers. He doesn't have any receivers. He has one good receiver really on Baltimore, and he doesn't really throw to him.
But who does
Andrews
Mahomes have? All his receivers went down. Remember one guy got in trouble and then he tore his.
It's not about what he had. It's about what you have. I'm not worried about the injuries. I'm talking about he's got Rashid Rice. He's got Xavier Worthy. No, fuck all the damn injury stuff. They get to keep the same without injuries. They got a way better receiving core than a lot of teams do.
I agree. But I will say
you got what's the tight end's name that dropped the pass in the end zone last year? Andrews. You got him. You got Derrick Henry. The second best running back in the game right now.
Let me say this, that I think the one struggle that Jackson would have with being on the Chiefs is they don't have a running back. And you do need a running back to help with Lamar Jackson. That's not the guy. But anyways, you need a guy, a power guy, because listen, they like to run a lot of read option. And Reeds would run the read option, but you need a good legit back. And that would be the one thing that I think Lamar would struggle with. Everything else he has. He has a good defense. He has the tight ends. He has the receivers. He has an okay line. I would say the line's probably not as good as the Ravens line is.
Think about this. When they go to the playoffs, the Ravens, that is, who do everybody have eyes on? Lamar Jackson. They don't care about anything else or anybody else. They're pointing out every single flaw Lamar Jackson does, whether he fumbled the ball, whether he takes the wrong read and he takes a route or something. You always have your eyes on Lamar Jackson because everybody else is going to do their job. Lamar Jackson team, I hate to say it, but sometimes he just tends to choke. Patrick Mahomes is damn near perfect in the playoffs. It's like a different level of Patrick Mahomes come out to play. He may not just have, 500 yards passing a game, but he don't turn the ball over much. He knows how to make good decisions.
It's because Lamar does too much, man. Like I've said this before, he doesn't need – when he gets to the playoffs, he doesn't have to play like Superman.
He don't.
When he plays like Superman, he gets kryptonite. He turns over the ball a lot.
Which one?
Last comment up.
This one?
Talk about
swap Jackson and Mahomes for 3 years.
This one?
Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
That's true. That is true. He's right.
Exactly. 100%, man. You look at Patrick Mahomes, he changed that team. I know.
Well, he didn't change the team. They were on the verge of getting into Super Bowls, but the quarterback they had wasn't the level that Patrick Mahomes was. Patrick Mahomes completed that circuit. That's what I'm saying. Everybody talks about how quarterbacks are winning and stuff. The team's got to play. The team's got to function as a unit with that quarterback. Okay, I don't consider Goff the best quarterback in the world either when he doesn't have his weapons with him, and really no quarterback is. There's very few quarterbacks that can play without a lot of weapons on their team,
right?
Because they are weapons themselves, like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, and maybe to an extent Patrick Mahomes. But it's just that I don't understand why people keep, it's a team sport. And people keep putting their onus on quarterback. Oh, well, he won 3 or 4 Super Bowls. And the reason why I don't consider, this is what I tell everybody, I don't consider Tom Brady a GOAT because he won a lot of Super Bowls. I consider him a GOAT because he's the greatest leader I've ever seen as a quarterback.
Sure.
I haven't seen too many, besides Joe Montana in the 90s and the 80s, I haven't seen a better led quarterback, a person that's quarterback than Tom Brady. Now, Patrick Mahomes does have some of them qualities. He does.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar Jackson to a point. Josh Allen has very good leadership qualities too. But once people lead, it's kind of like listening to your teacher. You're not going to get an A in class unless you pay attention to what the hell the teacher tells you. If you don't, you're going to get Fs. And this is kind of the same thing with Lamar and Josh. They yell a lot, but who's really paying attention? Not enough people have to pay attention and say, hey, We got to get our head out of our ass and win some games in the playoffs.
I will argue that I think one of Josh Allen's biggest problems is he's not a good enough leader. If he was more vocal and he was more of a leader, I think Buffalo would be.
But that's not his leadership. He leads by examples. Not every leader has to be a rah-rah guy.
But the thing is that when you see them lose, when Buffalo loses, who sits there and talks to the team? You see Josh McDermott talking. You hear Josh Allen every now and then
because that's not his thing. He's not that. Burrow's the same way, Jay.
When you look at Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, a lot of people call Patrick Mahomes a crier because you seen him how passionate he was. Like, what was that, 2 seasons ago? When he had that meltdown and he was crying and everybody like, oh, he's collapsing and so forth. He's passionate. He wants his team to be as passionate.
Right, but Jay, you have to understand. You have to understand leadership is done different ways. Some people lead by example. Some people lead by being a rah-rah guy. Even Burrow said in the quarterback, that's not his style. He's not. He'll get mad at you if he needs to get mad at you at times, but he's not going to get in your face. That's not his style.
Maybe I don't see it enough, but have anybody ever seen Josh Allen get off in, let's just say, Keon Coleman's behind because he dropped the pass or something like that?
I do see him get on the offensive players. I've seen him do that to Cook before. I've seen him do that to he did that to Diggs one time.
Yeah.
When Diggs was on the team, he cussed him out for not running the right route or
it's
not.
Not consistent. It's not consistent, but he'll do it sometimes.
The difference is now. See, they showed Joe Burrow on the sideline, and they say, when the big media thing is he got an altercation with his coach. No, he didn't get an altercation with his coach. His coach came in where he was highly emotional about that whole situation. He just came in at the wrong time. He came in hot when he should have been like, I'm going to leave the quarterback alone for a minute and let him get his thoughts because he looks like he's pissed. Yeah. They were winning 37-27
but they played like ass.
And he was pissed because the offensive line was crap. But he was on the line. The thing that bothered me about Joe Burrow in that instance is he was on the sideline sulking about it instead of going over to the offensive line cussing their ass out. Tom Brady, he would do that. If the defense wasn't playing, he'd go over to the defense and say, "Get your head out your ass. We need some stops."
But here's the thing. When you're talking about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, those are one of the most fierce competitors ever to play football.
Two of the best leaders.
I like Joe Burrow. I think he's a good guy, but at times I question his love for football. And I'll tell you why. Because watching that quarterback, I didn't know who Joe Burrow really was outside of just watching him on TV and watching his stats. But when you see his personality, you can tell that there's more to just football with him. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, they live and breathe football, period.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else who does too, and I know you guys are going to probably kick me out of here for saying this, but Aaron Rodgers was the same way.
Oh, 100%,
Aaron Rodgers was the same way.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Yeah. I don't know about so much now.
Until he started taking his little edible enemas and all that crap.
Yeah.
But the way, just to kind of wrap this up, because we kind of a little long-winded on this one. But the thing is that I would probably say if there's one quarterback that can jump into that upper echelon with the Allen, the Jackson, the Mahomes, I'm going to say Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, if he has a great year, which I expect him to, hint, hint, he very well will be talking elite status because his stats and his poise and the way he plays the quarterback position is some of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's even better than Lamar Jackson in some aspects.
Yeah.
And we hold Lamar Jackson to a high standard.
And I'm going to tell you.
Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, I think that kind of, threw Aaron Rodgers off. I'm just going to be honest. As soon as he was starting to
he's a weird guy. He's from California, man.
It was like you knew Aaron Rodgers was going to do good things in the season. But it was like as soon as he started opening up a little bit about his personal life, that's when he just fell off. And
fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Nobody cares.
B, what were you going to say? I hate that guy so much.
But I have to give Jay and Daniels at least another year or two because anything can happen, man.
That's what I was going to say.
And Jay and Daniels, I think he's a great talent. I think he has a lot of talent, but injuries. Knock on wood. I don't wish anything bad.
Right. Well, but that's injuries aside. But what I'm saying is like
I want to see another year because he took the league by storm. You know,
That's
it's been
what I
couple
said.
of quarterbacks that took the league by storm, but then didn't do anything afterwards. And I mean, one person was Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, after his injury, after he had that MVP caliber season,
Yeah, but we didn't see.
he disappeared.
I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna push back on the Carson Wentz thing. We didn't see that kind of skill with Carson Wentz that we see in Jaden Daniels.
I did.
I didn't. I didn't think Wentz was that good, man. I mean,
he was going to be MVP if he didn't break his leg.
I mean, but from okay, and be real with me on this answer.
Mm-hmm.
Talent wise, who's better, Carson Wentz or Jaden Daniels?
Talent wise, I would say right now Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
And reason why I'm saying talent wise is because Carson Wentz wasn't as like the runner he is. Like Jaden Daniels seemed to be a little bit more complete, right? Like Jaden Daniels is like the full package. He can throw the hell out of the ball, and he can run the hell out of a ball, and he would juke you. You know, I didn't see much of that.
The stuff he's done, did as a rookie.
Like, he was slicing dicey from the pocket. If he needed to get out of the pocket, he could do it. But Jay and Daniels seem to be a little bit more complete, and I don't see a lot of quarterbacks. I've never seen a quarterback actually like that.
The stuff that you see out of Jaden Daniels, the stuff you see out of Jaden Daniels' rookie year, the way he was really good against the blitz, the poise in the pocket, the way he didn't get rattled, that's something you see in a 5 or 6 year vet. You don't see that in a rookie.
Yes.
And that to me, that's elite. That's an elite trait right there. And then on top of that, he's a dynamic runner himself that we really didn't see a lot of that because a guy could pick you apart from the pocket. Like, yeah, I get we need more time with him, but he is the one that I'm saying that will jump everybody and get into that elite.
That's like
elite
is that like a bold take from you? Hot take?
Not yet. I'll get my bold take.
But
on that note, thank you for the.
Well, see, you want to be a guest? Is that what you're trying to ask? Because we have our main people here, but
we love having a guest. Or
if you want to be a guest on one of our next shows or something like that, that'd be no problem. That's what you're asking. I'm not sure what you're asking,
but Jay, on that segue, we're gonna jump into the previews. So, starting today, we are going to do previews for all the divisions leading up to the training camp. So today we have the AFC East and the NFC East. So I'll turn it over to B. So go ahead, B.
So we're going to start off with the AFC East. Of course, we're going to always use the NFC for the last. All right. AFC, I'm going to give you like a team, and you just tell me what your opinions on it, and where you think they're going to finish, and also what questions or what do you think is what like can be what's bold take? Yeah, if you want to do a bold take on it. So we have the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. Their head coach is Sean McDermott. Their OC is Joe Brady, and their DC is Bobby Babich. The Bills are favored in every single game they play this season, according to Vegas. And Josh Allen is playing better than ever. My questions are: will James Cook get signed? Because they still don't have that contract signed yet. Can they get over the playoff hump? Too. That's the other thing.
That's a big one. I mean, that's a big one. That's a big elephant in the room.
I really think that Kansas City is going to digress, but that'll be another division thing that we'll have. But and I think this will be a prime opportunity for Buffalo to get into the Super Bowl this year. So, but what are your thoughts on Buffalo there, Jay?
Buffalo. I don't want to sound like a hater, but I just think that something has to change within our organization for them to beat the Chiefs and get to the Super Bowl. Because I think they can get the reigning team in the playoffs and even in the season. But I think they'll finish I think they'll win 12 games this year.
They play in easy division.
I think they win. I think they win 12 games, and I think they win their division. But I think they lose in the AFC Championship game again. I think they lose to the Chiefs. Really.
Okay.
I just don't think that they can get past the Chiefs. I think that something has to change. I'm not sure what it is, but something has to change in order for them to get over that.
So that's your bold take because they get to the championship and lose? Okay.
AFC Championship game, they lose to the Chiefs.
That is bold because a lot of people have them in the Super Bowl, so that's interesting. And the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. You got them in the Chiefs again. That's interesting. Lose again to the Chiefs, man. Buffalo is a very talented team. I mean, they go as far as Josh Allen takes them. They need to re-sign James Cook. He's one of their best weapons. It behooves me how you pay Shakir $10 million plus for a guy who I don't think is really that good, and you don't want to pay a guy like James Cook, who could be a really good back for you and a game changer in the passing and the running game. Just seems like a simple decision for me. I think they finished number one in their division. That division is god-awful garbage. No disrespect to AG and the Patriots, but that division is terrible. That's 4 wins every – 8 wins. 8 wins right there. They're already in the playoffs just in that division right there. 6 wins. 6 wins. I'm sorry. Thank you, B. 6 wins. Yeah, they're almost in the playoffs right there with 6 wins. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So they'll finish that division. I do think it's Super Bowl or bust, just like the Lions. They have to make the Super Bowl this year. My bold take is they're not going to make the Super Bowl, and Sean McDermott is gone. They're going to go out and get an offensive-minded coach to pair with Josh Allen. That is the new age of the NFL. Get the offensive coordinator. Get the offensive coordinator and get the quarterback, and you can go far. So
I don't know if that's the worst division. The NFC South is pretty bad, and the AFC South is pretty bad.
Yeah, that is pretty bad. And the NFC East too.
The NFC East is way better than any of those.
It's gotten better. It's gotten better. Yeah, it's gotten better the last couple of years.
Yeah, NFC East is really good actually.
All right, so and New England, the Patriots are next. Head coach is Mike Vrabel, new, but he's an ex-Patriot anyway. OC is Josh McDaniels. He's back in his old seat again, and a DC is our guy Terrell Williams, who coached our defensive line last year. Right. Patriots had an incredible offseason, first of all. Starting with the coaching staff. They got all new coaching. I mean, they brought back Josh McDaniels. Terrell Williams is a pretty good defensive line coach. I see what he is as a DC, but Mike Vrabel is the guy. He's like Dan Campbell 2.0.
Yeah, he's their Dan Campbell, exactly.
Yeah. Pairing newly acquired Carlton Davis with Christian Gonzalez will electrify the secondary. Drake May got an added weapon with Stephon Diggs, as long as he can stay out of trouble. The question is, for me, will the offensive line better protect Drake May? Now, they'd had to go off season and sign some free agent offensive linemen. We want to say, yep. And will he have a sophomore slump? That's the other thing.
Fair.
You want me to go first?
I'll go, and then I'll let you go, Jay.
Sure.
All right. Patriots, very up-and-coming team. A lot of players signed in the free agency to really complete their roster. This is Drake May's second year. Mike Vrabel is the right coach. He's a culture changer. He's a guy that the Patriots wanted from the get-go. They didn't want him to go to the Titans. It just happened to happen that way because they had Mayo. They decided to go with Mayo. I think that this team will be as good as Drake May takes a second step. If Drake May really comes out and plays well, I think this team could very well make the playoffs. And I actually do have them making the playoffs. I think that they take a huge leap. My bold take with them would be that I think that, Drake May very well could be, one of the top quarterbacks in the AFC this year if things go the right way. And I say that because as much as we give him a lot of shit, Josh Daniels is a really good offensive coordinator. He's not a coach, but he's a damn good offensive coordinator. Like Tom Brady owes a lot of credit to Josh McDaniels too, because of how he schemed up the offenses and how he made him a better quarterback. I think he's gonna do the same thing with Drake May. And if Drake May really pays attention to what Josh McDaniels says, dude has all the talents. You talk about arm strength, you talk about accuracy, you talk about movement, throwing from the pocket. The guy is damn good. And I think that if he really has his second year, this boom year, watch out.
What you got, Jay?
Well, I'm going to say with the additions of Bradbury, with the addition of the tackle they just signed, I forgot his name, coming over from Baltimore, he's going to provide a little bit of stability at tackle. I think that they're going to protect Drake May, and I think that adding Vrabel to that team as a coach is like a great fit for them because look at what he did with Ryan Tannehill down in Tennessee, right? Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to do more with Drake May. I think Drake May has more talent than Tannehill, and that's no shot. I think that the Patriots win 11 games. My bold take on them, though, is I think Vrabel wins Coach of the Year. I think they may win a playoff game, and I think they get to the divisional round, and they may lose.
If he makes the playoffs, he's Coach of the Year, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I think Vrabel is going to win Coach of the Year. I think that this is going to kind of be that what Vrabel needed, because I don't know if you guys remember, but was it last year or 2 years ago, they were talking about how intimidating he was and nobody wanted to work with him allegedly, but Vrabel is a good head coach. He's physical. He know how to play the game. He can put the right pieces in place. I think they're going to do good, man. I think they win 11 games, and I think they make the playoffs, get a win.
Ooh.
Vrabel for Coach of the Year.
11 games. Wow.
Yeah, I think the thing about Vrabel too, people got to understand. Yeah, he's from the Bill Belichick tree as a player. As a coach, he's not. And I think, and being a player in this league and being a coach after that says a lot of things. There's a lot of player coaches in this league right now, and they're very successful. So, and if you think of it that way, Vrabel's not really. It's not something that Bill Belichick is a part of. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that association by coaching. He has an association by being a player. Yeah, so and then
Vrabel,
that's good.
Vrabel's
like
a culture guy. He's a culture guy. He's going to set the culture, and everybody's going to follow suit with it. That's it. Either buy it or you don't buy it.
Speaking of culture, the New York Jets. They got head coach Aaron Glenn. OC is Tanner Eggstrand from us. DC is Steve Wilkes, pretty good defensive coordinator. It feels like a rebuild, but certainly the Jets did not lose much on either side of the ball. Okay, they still pretty much got the same thing they had before Aaron Rodgers. I'm saying this before Aaron Rodgers got here and screwed around.
They lost Reed. Thank you very much.
Well, they did lose Reed. Yeah, they still got Sauce. They have a good corner. The questions I have, after taking a seat to Devontae Adams last season, will Garrett Wilson reclaim his role as the number one? I mean, take that role and run with it, because he had a problem with that. Can Aaron Glenn change the culture? That's the other one. And will the defense get back to its dominance under Steve Wilkes? Can first-year offensive coordinator Tanner Eggstrand turn Justin Fields into the quarterback he needs him to be? Those are all questions for the Jets.
Those are all fair questions too. Go ahead, Jay.
I do think that Aaron Glenn changes the culture, and so I do think Aaron Glenn changes the culture. But I don't think they win more than 4 games. I think they're going to have a struggle. But I think that one thing they'll do is I think they'll have a very tough defense, because they still got a lot of good defensive players over there. Mm-hmm. And I think that with the leader that Aaron Glenn is, we've talked about it multiple times amongst ourselves. Aaron Glenn is a leader. He's a great head coach. And I think that that's one thing that New York was missing, and they finally got it. Now, I don't think they have the talent on offense. Obviously, Justin Fields is being your quarterback. That may be good considering, Garrett Wilson and him played together. But I just don't think that it's going to be enough to get them over 4 wins this season. So I really don't have a bold take on them. I think that they're just going to be a really good team that just needs to find their way. And I do think Wilkes as well. Really quick, Nate, I do think Wilkes as well. He's going to be a great addition, because he's going to be working with Quentin Williams. Going to be working with that guy. That guy is a beast. So
and Wilkes is a good DC, dude.
Yeah,
he should never gotten fired, but he's a good DC.
I think that's going.
That was a great hire by freaking Aaron Glenn, man. That was a great hire.
Oh yeah, that was a pretty good hire right there, Wilkes, man.
AD kicked ass on both those hires.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets. This is like the year 1 of Dan Campbell. Like you have more of a stacked roster than Dan Campbell inherited in his team. But you have to change the culture. You've got to change your losing ways to winning ways. AG is the right coach for that. Bringing in Justin Fields, I was a solid move. I mean, I give Robbie shit about this, but they should have kept Justin Fields in Pittsburgh. I think they're going to regret that. I think the defense is stellar. I mean, you still got Sauce, you still got Williams. I forgot the linebacker's name they have. That's really good. What's his name? I don't know. But anyways, they got a good defense.
What's up, Keith?
Thanks, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, they have a good defense. Offensively, that's going to be the biggest question. What does Tanner bring as far as interesting trick plays? What kind of passes downfield? You know, he was a really good passing coordinator for us. It's going to be interesting to see what he does as an OC on his own when he's not under Ben's shadow. I think he's a very bright guy. My bold take with them is I think that Justin Fields could be most improved player of the year. I think that he's going to fit well with the Jets and what AG wants to do. And I don't think they're going to go outside the box with him. They're going to kind of play to his strengths, which is running the football, which is throwing short passes, intermediate passes, and he can also throw the deep passes. And I think you're going to see a resurgence with Justin Fields. NATO?
Nato.
Nato.
That's what he meant to say. Nato.
Oh, okay.
But, well, my bold take for the Jets is they're going to finish third in that division. Because we have the Miami Dolphins that are up next with head coach Mike McDaniel. Their OC is Frank Smith. Who? DC is Anthony Weaver. I mean, he's familiar, but who?
Not bad.
At their peak, the Miami Dolphins can be a wrecking ball. They can. They got enough offensive weapons. They got a pretty good quarterback. Their offensive line is pretty decent. When everything's clicking, they're a force to be reckoned with. As long as as long as they start off healthy with Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane, because if those two went down, you could have. I mean, that team wasn't the same without both of them playing well. Tua, when not in concussion protocol, could be a top 10 quarterback. He can.
You think he'd be a top 10 quarterback? That's a bold take.
He could be a top 10 quarterback. If he doesn't, I mean, he's had concussions and injuries over the last period of the 4 years he's been there.
I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback even without concussions, but that's just
I mean, hey, when you got the weapons around you, you can get the stats.
No, that's fair.
Questions I have for Miami is will Hill be effective? Tyreek Hill, that is, because he's all over the place. He's got 200 kids to take care of on top of it. Can newly acquired Darren Waller, by the way, he was acquired, be an equal replacement for Jonnu Smith? Can Aminka Fitzpatrick recharge himself and the secondary who lost Jalen Ramsey? And let me tell you something about the secondary for the Dolphins right now. They got about 4 rookies that are in that cornerback room.
Yeah, they
really don't have a standout corner right now because they lost Jalen. Their safeties are pretty good, though. They got Iffy and then they got Minka. But other than that, I don't know about their secondary. That's I hope Fitzpatrick comes in there and gets leadership role, and he comes in there and straightens that secondary out. Their defense isn't exactly the greatest either, but what do you got on that there, Nate?
Yeah, I think with Tua, it's the same thing I said with Josh Allen. They go as far as Tua takes them. If Tua is hurt or he's not right, they suck. They're going to be bad. They have a lot of speed. Achane, Waddle, Hill, Waller can even get some wheels on there too. I mean, they have a lot of speed. Defensively, I'm a little concerned with their defense. You mentioned the secondary. I would even say the D-line is concerning because they've had guys who've had Phillips had injuries. They paid a lot of money to Christian Wilkins. The guy's done shit, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like Christian Wilkins went to the Raiders.
Not Wilkins. Didn't they get another defense tackle?
Calais Campbell.
Yeah, that's it.
Calais is back. He's back in the area.
Yeah, he's gone. I was going to say.
So he's gone now. Yeah, but last year
I thought they had another guy. But anyways, I have questions on their
Kenneth Grant out of Michigan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I have a lot of questions on their defense, like their linebackers. Who's their big premier linebacker? Their secondary is really bad. Their D line has Phillips, and that's pretty much it that I can recollect in my head. And he came off an ACL injury at some point. So, I mean, yeah, you've got to be able to play some defense in that division, especially when we talk about the quarterbacks that you're playing, Josh Allen, Drake May, Justin Fields. I actually think that my bold take will be that the Dolphins will trade Tyreek Hill this season. I think that he's pushing his way out, and I don't know where he's going to go, but it's not going to be on Miami. I think that ship has sailed, and it's just a matter of time before his ass is shipped out somewhere else. And they have to restart at the receiver position. They have Waddle, which is good. But, yeah, that experiment's over with, and they're going to be bad. For the most part.
I mean, it's a pretty good take. That is, which you gave a bold take for. The question is, if you want to have a bolder take before we get Jay to start, what team is going to take Tyreek?
Patriots.
No,
I say Buffalo.
It could be Buffalo.
Here, folks. Patriots.
It could be the freaking Chiefs. You can go back to the Chiefs.
Back to the Chiefs again too, yeah.
So. I think they.
You don't think the Chiefs will welcome his ass?
He might burn that bridge. He might have burnt that bridge there.
He might have.
I think he did them a little bit too bogus when he left, and it was all for the money.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
the Whackers could get him. I could see him going to the Whackers. I mean, they don't know who Matthew Golden is yet.
But with me, I somebody said a couple of comments ago that they think Miami's borderline a dumpster fire. I totally agree with that, man. I think that with Tua's situation, it just hasn't been good. I mean, how much more left does he have in the tank? I mean, let's just be realistic. The guy has had multiple concussions just in one season alone. You know, not including the ones he had a couple years prior. So, if you don't have a quarterback that's going to be able to play 16, 17 games for you, that's going to be very bad. And then on top of that, they got rid of a couple of good players and Jalen Ramsey and some more guys. And it's just like, I mean, what are you trying to do? Minka Fitzpatrick is good, but I mean, who are your corners? Who's going to be able to, stop the pass? I really don't know. I do think Tyreek Hill, Nate, you stole this from me. I do think Tyreek Hill gets traded. I just don't see what Miami is going to do. And I think McDaniels is a great coach, but what do you guys which way are you going? What
I don't know about great, but he's okay.
I think he's a really good head coach, especially when he has the right people in place. He got the nice receivers. He got Achane at running back. I
think people kind of figured out his offense, man. I think that he was like a hot take early. Like, oh, this offense is amazing. You put up 70 points in a game, like you're unstoppable. And then people kind of got more tape on him and started figuring out how to play him defensively because he hasn't had those explosive games. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it's because of the quarterback. The quarterback's ass. Let's just be honest.
Absolutely.
He hasn't played well.
I won't say Tua's ass. He's just hurt. I'm not going to call him ass.
Even when he plays healthy, he looks like ass at times. So
he had the highest completion percentage, though, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but so did Kirk Cousins. Do we think Kirk Cousins is really that good? Come on.
No, Kirk Cousins, no.
When you throw short passes, that's not impressive.
I think he's the most accurate quarterback. They consider him the most accurate quarterback.
Well, but how many shots downfield? That's my question.
He can have a couple, especially with Waddle and Hill. Like, it's there. I just think that I just think his health is what really is in question.
Oh, everything hinges on him.
My bold take about the Dolphins is I think they finished last in the division. I mean, especially
that's a bold take.
I think they finished last in the division. I don't think there's any way that they outplay New England. They outplay Buffalo, obviously. I just don't think. I think that the Jets may even be able to beat them this season. I don't see anything good coming to Miami. So.
Let me ask you this question, and we'll go to the next division after this. Do y'all think that McDaniels gets fired if they have another losing season?
Yes.
Yeah, I think his seat is pretty hot. I think he's one of those coaches that nobody talks about his seat being hot, but I think his seat's kind of hot right now.
I'll tell you the two hottest seats in the NFL right now. One is McDaniel, and the other one is Brian Daboll. Those are the two hottest seats in the NFL.
I'd agree with that.
Yes, for sure. Absolutely, man.
Well, thank you for segueing that into the NFC East, by the way. That
helps out. Jay's got the segues today. Good job, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
Hey,
So we're going to go to the NFC East, and of course, we're going to start out with Nate's favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Sheagles. Let's go.
And
All
head
right.
coach Nick Sirianni. His offensive coordinator is Kevin Patullo, and his defensive coordinator is Vic Fangio. I believe by addition by subtraction is going to make the Eagles early Super Bowl favorites. I said early Super Bowl favorites. I didn't say Super Bowl favorites. I said early Super Bowl favorites.
Well, it's
The
expected that they
question
win the
I
championship.
have,
It should be.
the questions I have is can Kevin Patullo pick up where Kellen Moore left off? Now, got to remember something. Kellen Moore is a pretty good offensive coordinator. The year before, they had a messed up offensive coordinator. I think they promoted within the Eagles.
And this guy was in the organization too.
Yes,
they brought him up,
and it didn't work out the year before. I don't know if it's going to work out this year. I think the only thing that's going to keep him solid is the fact that they got Saquon. That's the only thing I can see. But I don't know how good of a play caller he's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jay, what do you got on that, buddy?
I don't think that guy is going to be able to come in and pick up where Kellen Moore left off at, because Kellen Moore is a good offensive coordinator, really good. That's somebody I'm surprised the Chicago Bears didn't go after, because Kellen Moore, he I mean, if you look at it, when you look at him coming from Dallas, they had one of the top offenses in the league. Then he went over to Philadelphia and boosted their offense up. It's like a proven record that he can definitely make your offense better.
Yeah, Dak and Jalen Hurts aren't scrubs.
Yeah,
those are good quarterbacks to work with.
I don't think he's going to be able to. I think that the talent is going to have to do more of the work than the actual coaching is. But my bold take is I don't think they win a division. I don't think the Eagles win a division. I think that goes to Dallas. And
whoa, that is a bold take by itself.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I want to hear that reason when we talk about Dallas. Okay. That's an interesting one. Wow, that might
Here's
be
another fan right here.
that might be the take of the year, the take of the game today for that one about Dallas. I think a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans are loving you right now. All right. B, did you have your bold take, or did you give your bold take?
No, there's really no bold take for me to give to Philadelphia. I just don't have one for you, but you go ahead with yours. Your
all right.
Philadelphia.
Well, as much as y'all think I hate the Eagles, I don't hate them. I speak in fact a lot of time when I talk about them. But here's the thing: the Eagles have a stacked roster. They have one of the best rosters in the NFL. There's no doubt about that. They outseed the Lions in every position except for maybe receiver. O-line's a toss-up. I still think the O-line for the Lions is solid. And the running backs, is pretty solid too if you talk about two-headed to one-head. But anyways, for me, the thing is with the Eagles is how hungry are they going to be after winning a championship? How much drive, how much energy are they going to have going forward? The thing is, too, that they only go as so far as Saquon takes them. Saquon had a lot of yards last year, a lot of carries. If you look at the facts, when running backs have a really, really good year, the next year is not so good because they have a lot of wear and tear on their bodies and injuries happen. And Saquon played really deep into the season. He played all the way up to February. Yep. And we're talking starting up in August. You didn't have a lot of time off. So we'll see. Defensively, they're good. They have a lot of rookies that are now stepping into starting positions. And it's year 2 for them. So to see how strong they're going to beat their predecessors is what I have. And also, too, offensively, is Jalen Hurts going to become that quarterback that can be more accurate from the pocket, can be more of a guy you can trust when the game's on the line? Jalen Hurts doesn't have to play from behind a lot, and that helps because it hides his inability to really lead teams at times. Mm-hmm. Like he has to lean on a guy like Saquon Barkley. He has to lean on a really damn good defense. Jalen Hurts has not been put in positions where he's had to bring his team back a lot either. So, I want to see that kind of situation from him, because if he can erase those doubts, then you're talking about possibly a really good quarterback because he's already got the ring. He's already got the bravado as far as, being a guy who's a great leader and all that. They love him in Philadelphia. So my bold take actually is going to be on the defense. I think that this defense finishes middle of the pack. I think that the young guys they have are good, but it's year 2. And if you know anything about being a year 2 rookie, there's more tape on you. People are trying to go after you. People are moving positions. Things are changing. Vic Fangio is a great defensive coordinator, but I think he benefits more from an older veteran defense than a younger defense. So we'll see. They did lose some pieces. They did sign some pieces, but I think this defense takes a step back.
They lost a couple. No more Brandon Graham. And Brandon Graham, let's be honest, he was like a linchpin of that defense.
Darius Slay.
Well, I mean, let's counter that from what happened last year. They lost Kelsey as a center, all right, and they still went to the Super Bowl. So that tells you a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham might be. I mean, he played for as long as he possibly could play for Philadelphia. Yeah. Let's be for real. And it was time for him to retire. So based on that, and he was getting. And he was in the Super Bowl because, he knew that's probably going to be his last chance at playing football anyway. And what a way to go out by winning the Super Bowl.
Sure.
But during the regular season, he was in and out of that lineup. So it wasn't like that they made or broke anything during that year.
And the question.
Slay is getting a little slower as a corner. So that was probably a good trade to Pittsburgh. I mean, he still has a little bit of juice, but they got up and coming corners right now. So I think the moves that Philadelphia made in the offseason were pretty good. You remember they
replaced guys that were more expensive with guys that they drafted, which usually happens,
they were effective though. They were effective guys. So they just didn't replace them.
Right.
They made sure that they would,
Yeah, losing Josh Sweat too was big. I think the only question I have with Philly is the pass rushers. Like, what they're going to get in the interior with Jordan Davis and Jaden Carter. Those dudes are going to be monsters in the middle. Their best pass rusher coming back is probably Nolan Smith. And Nolan Smith to me is more of an edge speed rusher. He's like a James Houston type. He's not a guy who you can put on 3 downs. They don't have that guy right now. That's going to be interesting because a lot of their pressure is created by what they can rush with 4. That's why they're so effective. So losing Sweat, losing Graham, you have Nolan Smith who's shown potential. You got Ojulari from the Giants, which they hoped is going to be that other guy, but we don't know. Ojulari hasn't been healthy, and they didn't really draft anybody in the first round like we didn't at end. So we both kind of sat on our hands and said, well, what we have, we're okay with.
They probably got a pretty good linebacker, which again, they got a steal at that because nobody else picked him up. I don't know why they didn't pick up Shahad.
He's got injury history. He's got injury history too. So can he stay healthy?
Crazy if you ask me that.
And then what's his face from Georgia? Freaking blew his ACL out. Or last year had I think he tore his ACL. What's his name? Georgia guy.
Which one?
Damn it! I know, right? The linebacker, the guy that people were.
What the hell is his name?
Nakobe Dean. There you go.
Nakobe Dean. Yeah, okay, Nakobe.
Yeah,
Dean.
So they were really high hopes on him, and then he blew his knee out. So got a lot of questionable things in the defense. I think they probably has much defense. They have more defensive-ish questions than we have on our side. So. Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna move to the Washington Commanders / Redskins. We don't know what's going to happen with the name. Head coach is Dan Quinn. The head coach is Dan Quinn. The offensive coordinator is Cliff Kingsbury. Forgot about that one. Defensive coordinator is Joe Witt Jr. Who the hell is that? But anyway, a solid free agent and draft can return them to the playoffs. I do think they're going to make the playoffs again this year. But the questions I have is Jaden Daniels sophomore slump. Well, he'll be in a sophomore slump because, everybody said you got tape now.
Sure.
And as calm as a cucumber that he was last year, well, if they bring blitzes from different areas he hasn't seen before, is he still going to be that calm cucumber? That's what I'm like.
That's fair.
Will Debo show his age? Debo's old and he's fat. You see him in training camp. That dude gained about 500 pounds. I don't know what Whit McDonald's he went
to. They might be trying to run him at running back because he looks more thicker than a Snicker.
Can they make Terry McLaurin happy by signing him, giving him the money that he wants?
They need to resign his ass. I don't know why they're even balking at that idea.
And will the defense even get better? Because that was a big thing about their last year. This is what folded them up in their playoff game with Philadelphia. Their defense is just horrible. I mean, even when they played the Lions, they scored 31 points on them, and that was playing against Goff having a bad day. Jahmyr Gibbs had 7.5 yards on the ground against him. 7.5
Jamo shredded him like he was walking.
So I mean, if you got a running back running 7.5 on your defense, you got a defensive problem, and you need to fix that. So I don't know if they addressed that enough during the offseason. They got a lot of players, but I don't think they addressed the defense enough. And I think that's something that might. I mean, like I said, they seem to be a playoff contender again this year, but I don't know if they're going to be able to go far without a good defense. And who the hell is Joe Witt Jr.? Where the hell did he come from? See, that's when you don't know the defensive coordinator, you know the defense is not going to be very good.
Well, to be fair, B, nobody knows who the hell Michael Shepard is either. So
Shepard. I mean Shepard.
Kelvin Shepard.
Kelvin Shepard. Yeah.
Other than Lion fans, nobody knows who the hell Kelvin Shepard is.
Well, at least he was a football player. I don't know who. I never heard of Joe Witt in football, so at least I know Shepard was a football player. So yeah. So when we're gonna go back, we're gonna go to. Oh, you're gonna go, Jay? Okay, go ahead, Jay.
So I'm going to say this about the Commanders. I think the Commanders are a good team. I think they overachieved last season. I mean, I think they were a product of lack of footage on your quarterback. Like we could all agree upon. But I don't think adding Deebo Samuel moved the needle much. I think adding Laramie Tunsil, that's going to actually be a good piece to protect Jay Daniels, but now Jay Daniels is going to have to play like a veteran. Is he going to be up to that challenge? I do think he has a sophomore slump. That's my bold take. I do think he has a huge sophomore slump because a lot of teams are going to be like checking for him now. A lot of teams are going to be taking him serious as if he's an MVP caliber player. And we were talking about the defense. Their defense really wasn't that well. They didn't do much to add to their team this year. So
you think there's going to be more eyes on Jay Daniels?
Exactly. Essentially, they're going to be like the Cincinnati Bengals. You're going to have a nice offense, but your defense won't be able to hold up. And I don't think that's going to be a recipe for winning for Dan Quinn, knowing the type of head coach he is, right? So my bold take is Jay Daniels has a huge slump. The Washington Commanders finished 9-8. They can make a playoff, but I don't think they really get out of the first round.
Okay. Well, Commanders are one of my favorite teams this year. I know they did us dirty last year, but this was a good team. Like we cannot lie to ourselves. This is a good up and coming team. What Jaden Daniels did as a rookie is extraordinary to see for a young guy, and I feel like it's only going to go better for him. Like getting Deebo Samuel, I actually disagree. I think Deebo Samuel is going to be a huge addition because if they get Scary Terry figured out, which they will, Scary Terry now has you can't go one-on-one with him. You're gonna have to, or you can't double team him. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to play one-on-one with him because Deebo is a weapon. I mean, yeah, he's a little thick right now, but he'll get there. But he's still a weapon. He can still move the ball. And they got Eckler and they've got Robinson. Like they've got a lot of good offensive pieces. The biggest question I have is on defense. Yes, their defense is not very good. They don't have an elite pass rusher. They have Luvu, who I liked a lot, even though he hit Goff. I do like Luvu a lot. Mikey Sanderstill, that's your boy from Michigan. Guy had 2 interceptions against us. Really good cornerback or safety. They've got pieces on there. Lattimore's head's on straight. He's a good, solid cornerback for them. The biggest questions are on the defense, no doubt. The offensive line is good. The quarterback is good. The running backs are good. The receivers are solid. It's going to fall on the defense. Like they have to have a good defense. I do think they are going to be improved defensively. And so I think that I have two bold takes actually for them. First one, they will win the NFC East. They will win that division. And the second bold take is Trey Hendricks will be traded to the Commanders sometime in the regular season. And they're gonna get that pass rusher they've been wanting. Because they have the money and they have a big need for him, and they will pay him whatever he wants. Because they know that when you got Jaden Daniels on a rookie contract, you can get whoever you want.
That's interesting. All righty then. So, for the
really quick,
what's that?
If you don't mind, why do you think they get Hendricks?
Because he's on a rookie deal, they can afford him. They need an elite pass rusher. They don't have anybody. I mean, I'd like you to name me who their pass rusher is right now. I don't know who it is. And
what's that guy's name? Picked off golf. It starts with the A. I can never say his name. Okay, I can't think of his name. It's some crazy name. I have to look it up.
But my point is they don't have an elite pass rusher. Like the Lions at least have an elite pass rusher named Hutchinson. The Commanders don't have that guy. They have some dudes that maybe they might pop or something like that. But you need an elite pass rusher to have a good defense. Like, we talk about some of the weaknesses of the secondary and all that. So that's why I think that it makes perfect sense for the Commanders to get Trey, because it's going to be traded to the NFC for sure. They're not going to trade him in the AFC. He's going to be traded to the NFC, and they have the money. They're going to pay him what he wants. Like, we can't do that. They can because Jay Daniels on a rookie contract, so they got 2 or 3 years of free money to play with.
Okay, I can dig that.
There's nobody on there with an A. I'm trying to think about who you're talking about.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, not A. I'm sorry, Luvu. It was Luvu.
Yeah, it was
Luvu. Yeah.
I think Luvu's more of a linebacker.
Yeah, he's a linebacker. Yeah, he's a linebacker.
I know he can.
But he can put his hand in the
jumping
ground.
off sides against Philly. Literally, and they were like, "Well, if he jumps offside one more time, it's touchdown."
I still can't.
Yeah, their defense was already horrible. Philadelphia they were able to execute their offense, unlike the Lions were in their game. That was the only falter.
If the Commanders had a defense, they probably would have made the Super Bowl.
They did add Bobby Wagner.
Well, Bobby Wagner was there last year.
Yeah,
he's still there.
Right? He's still there.
Oh, he's still there.
He ain't making no difference. But
he's
anyway,
he's on the tooth.
yeah. I mean, I guess he's there for veteran presence, whatever that is, with that defense.
He's just a guy.
Now we're going. Yeah, he's just a guy. Now he's a jag. He's just a guy.
Right.
Now we're going to the team that Jay thinks is going to win the division.
Yeah, I want you to start. I want you to start with that. Like,
Dallas Cowboys have changed their coach from McCarthy to head coach Brian Schottenheimer, or somebody said to me, Schottencenter. The offensive coordinator is Clayton Adams. Again, who the hell is that? And DC is Matt Eberflus, which I think was the best coach hire that they made. Yeah. Can Schottenheimer change the culture? Will Clayton Adams run the offense effectively? Will Parsons resign? That's another guy that's got to resign there too. He's imperative for Dallas to resign.
Yeah.
Trading for Pickens could put Dallas in the playoff hunt because he's a good receiver. He's a temper tantrum waiting to happen, but he's a good receiver.
Yeah.
And I think adding Eberflus as a DC was a plus for the Cowboys too. I think he's a very good defensive coordinator. I really do. I mean, just looking at what Chicago did, and he didn't have a lot of pieces that Dallas had. And even though he was the head coach, he still had a run on the defense, and that defense played really good for Chicago until he got fired. So, I mean, I'm seeing the same thing with Dallas. I think they're going to have really good defense. Clayton Adams in that offense is kind of like having the new guy from Philadelphia running the offense. So I don't know.
It might have been a promotion within.
Yeah, I think it's because Brian Schottenheimer was an offensive coordinator at one time, and he was last year, and he got promoted to head coach. So are we just trickling down to the offensive coordinator that you hired all your plays, basically, and say, you run this, this is what I want you to run? Basically, you're a puppet, kind of like Nagy to, Andy Reid, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm the offense seems to be the problem right now for Dallas, even though it never used to be a problem for Dallas. But Dak's got to be playing a healthy season. CD Lamb's got to. They got to have that running game's got to help them out. The offensive line, that running game's got to help them out. And I think they addressed pretty much a couple of those. We got to see what the guy from Denver they traded for. What he can do.
Williams.
Javonte Williams does as a starter, because I'm not sure about that one either, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So on that note, Jay, since that was your team,
explain yourself, sir.
Explain your division title.
So I'm going to give you two moves right now that I think they did really well on. I think one thing that the Cowboys did well was they drafted that guy Booker, that guard Booker. They drafted him. Mm-hmm. They drafted Booker, and he's going to be a good addition to their offensive line as well. And they got George Pickens over there. I think this is something that they needed, that spark that they needed, another weapon for Dak Prescott, because obviously CeeDee Lamb needs help, right? I think they got offensive linemen. They're going to be able to protect Dak Prescott. That has been one of their biggest problems, was being able to protect Dak Prescott. And,
their offensive line is really good.
They
so
now that you can keep them upright, I think they're going to do some really good things. And also a thing that flew under the radar too, they added Golston, that defensive end. They added Golston to their team, right? That's going to.
They lost Dexter Lawrence.
Got Lawrence as well, so I think that.
No, they lost Dexter Lawrence. Not Dexter Lawrence.
No,
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Marcus Lawrence. He signed a 3-year contract with them, right?
No, he went to.
No.
Oh, did he? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well,
has that changed your opinion now?
No. I still think you got Micah Parsons over there still. Obviously Micah Parsons up for an extension, and I think that's something that he's really waiting on to get him motivated. I think that they just needed a culture change as well. Now, while I do think that Jerry Jones can be a bit of a dictator, I do think that Schottenheimer is going to put them in a position to win. I don't think that the NFC East is really strong right now. I think you really get past Dallas and you home free. So with the talent that they're bringing back, with the coach that they have, and they are already stars put in place, I think this is the time for Dallas to go and win that division again, man. Bring yourself back, because last year wasn't it. And even with a lot of injuries that they had last season, they were still competitive. While the Lions kicked their ass, they were still competitive and still, kind of fighting. So I think this is a great time for Dallas to capitalize off of a bad NFC East and win the division.
Okay.
Well, they did. The guy you think you're thinking about they signed was Osa. I'm a murderless last name.
Oh yeah.
Uza. Yeah.
I know you're talking about the interior guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's supposed to be. He's a pretty good defensive tackle too.
Yeah, he's not. He's
not nothing to frown on. Yeah.
Zigadui, I think, is what it is.
Zigadui. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody close.
Good job.
I just remember that guy's name. Yeah.
I can't say it.
So with Dallas, for me, it's game one. You're playing the defending champions on national TV. You've got George Pickens in tow with CD Lamb. Arguably probably the best 1-2 tandem. Sorry, Minnesota. One of the best 1-2 tandem in the NFL with those two guys. Mm-hmm. You're going to see early on what this Cowboys team is going to look like against a really good Philadelphia team. If Dallas comes out and plays well with Philly in game one, Jay, you might have something there. If Dallas comes out and gets their ass whooped, it's going to be bad because their schedule is brutal. And you're talking about having to play the Commanders twice, playing the Eagles twice, even an improved Giants team in some aspects twice. Like just in their division, they're going to have fits. So I think for Dallas, for me, is they have better talent, but Dak's getting up there in age. And getting Joe Milton was not we just got Joe Milton. Like that, they got him for a reason. Like Dak's on a time clock. because I think that if Joe Milton shows anything in preseason or shows any kind of skill that we've seen so far, we already know he's got a rocket for an arm. If he shows anything in preseason, there's going to be a lot. And if Dak sucks ass in the first game, there's going to be a lot of clamoring to say, you know what, let's just tank and put Joe Milton in the starting lineup. And let's just play with Pickens. I mean, when you got Joe Milton and Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you're doing pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
Defensively, I think they'll be solid. I think Eberfuck adding him, that's a solid move. Parsons, of course, the beast inside. You know, I don't know who their answer is at other defensive end. Maybe that guy you're talking about.
What's the Solomon Thomas?
Yeah, Solomon Thomas. He's more of a defensive lineman, but
he's more of an inside guy. But they don't really have that other guy. Maybe it's actually that guy. Maybe it's the guy from Ole Miss that they had, Williams, but he tore his ACL last year. So hopefully it might be him that could be that other defensive end. Linebackers are pretty solid. Amari Overshown might not play this year until later, but that guy's solid. You know, their secondary with Bland, Diggs, you know, they've got some good players.
Jordan Lewis. Just signed an extension, right?
Yeah, Jordan Lewis. The thing with Dallas.
Jordan Lewis don't play on there no more either.
No,
not Jordan Lewis.
What?
Yeah, Jordan Lewis moved on.
Yeah. But like I said, for me with Dallas is that early on you got to see what kind of leadership does Brian bring to the team. Because like before, when you look at guys like Jason Garrett and McCarthy, they were more rah-rah guys. They weren't guys that were trying to change things. It seems like with Brian, he's trying to change some of the culture. He's trying to be something different than what you've seen in past coaches. My thing is, like, I'm assuming he's probably going to be the primary play caller because he's an offensive guy, right? So this other guy might be the puppet behind him, you know. But yeah, and also too, I think the running game is going to be huge. I think they want to go back to running the football like when they had Zeke back in the day. I really surprised they whiffed on Hampton. That was, for me, that was a perfect pick. Perfect pick.
They started whiffing from last year when they didn't pick up Henry or fucking Saquon. They could have had either one of those. They didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, when you get a guy like Hampton, you got a guy like CeeDee Lamb, and you were going to trade for Pickens, now you're cooking with grease. You know, so I don't know. That one kind of surprised me. I don't know what their running back situation is going to look like. I mean, Rico Dabo, they let that guy go too. You know, Javonte Williams, and who's the other guy they have? Somebody else.
You talk about what, Dallas? Dallas?
Yeah, who is it? Javonte Williams, somebody else.
They still got Vaughn. Vaughn still.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good third down running back, or you know.
But they have some. I think they have somebody else. They have somebody else other than Javonte. Damn it.
Yeah, they got. They just got the rookie Blue from Texas too.
Oh yeah, Blue. Watch out for Blue. Blue is definitely a guy to watch out for because
sneaky.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed. He's gonna be a good tandem with Javonte. But anyways, my bold take for the Cowboys is, I think that if Dallas struggles early on in the season, I think they make the move to Joe Milton.
Miles Sanders is also on the team too.
Oh, they got Miles Sanders. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe he's trying to rejuvenate his career. So yeah, their running back's decent. I mean, I would have kept Dabble. Dabble was actually pretty decent for them. But anyways, that's my bold take is that I think that if Dak does struggle, you're going to see Joe Milton start. And then I don't think Dak's going to get that starting position back. Because I think Joe Milton could very well be a very special quarterback. Like, I'm actually anxious to see him in preseason. You'll see a lot of him in preseason. So that arm is no joke. No joke.
And then finally, we are on the New York Giants, or as Monkey calls them, the New Jersey Giants, which is more probable because they play in New Jersey. The head coach is Brian DeBall. OC is Mike Kafka. Mike
Hey, that
Kafka.
wasn't that the guy that was the Lions quarterback at one time that we had on
Kafka?
our practice squad or some shit?
I don't know. Defensive coordinator. The name doesn't sound familiar.
No, maybe
Defensive
somebody else.
coordinator
Kafka.
Shane Bowen is their defensive coordinator. I know a little bit about him, but he's like a low totem pole kind of guy. Drafting Abdul Carter made a defense even better and younger. Their defense is pretty solid.
Oh
Jackson Dart will be
Interior
the
linebackers. Yeah.
Jackson Dart will be the Giants' future. Cam Scatterboo may be an underrated signing, draft pick. But the questions I have: will the offense be able to pick it up? Because I think the defense is solid. I do. I think the defense is solid. Even they don't have so great of a secondary, even though they picked up a couple of guys. But the defensive line in general, if you have a very solid defensive line, you're already covering for everybody in the back. So.
Sure.
I think that their defense has got no problems at the moment, unless injuries happen to them, knock on wood. But I don't think, without injuries, they're a very good defense. They could be top 5, I feel. But their offense, on the other hand, needs some work. Yeah.
I mean, they got neighbors. I like
They got neighbors and they got
Hyatt. They got Jalen Hyatt still.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. They got Wilson. They got Winston. Yeah.
Another guy they have too that nobody is really talking about is Tracy, the running back. He got hurt, but he showed some promise. And then you took, of course, a Scatapoo too.
The only thing that's going to hold the Giants back is their schedule. Their schedule is freaking brutal in the first 8 games of the season. They got to play the Washington Commanders the first game at Washington. Then they got to go to Dallas, where they never win. They haven't proven it. Dallas sucked last year, and they still beat the Giants twice. Yeah. Then they play Kansas City, although it isn't in the Meadowlands. It's in New Jersey. Then they play the Chargers. Then they play the Saints. You can let that one go. Then they got to play Philadelphia. Then they got to go to Denver, and then they got to play at Philadelphia. Those are the first 8 games. They might come out of that with maybe 1 to 2 wins if they're lucky. I don't see.
You'll probably see Dart in that lineup at some point in those 8 games. Yeah. I think with the Giants, it's make or break for Dable. This was Dable's quarterback. Dable wanted Jackson Dart. The GM wanted Shedeur Sanders. So I mean, this is his guy. So he's gonna put him in at some point because you got to see what he has. Because if you don't see Jackson Dart play this year, Dable's done. Dable's done if they suck. But if Jackson Dart comes in and plays well, this was Dable's guy, then you're going to see Dable stay. The Giants are interesting because they do have a really good defense, B. I agree with you. Like when you got Kayvon Thibodeau and you got Abdul Carter and you got Brian Burns as your pass rushers, you've got some really good pass rushers. Yeah. And their secondary is underrated too.
Right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, you've got a really good defense. Offensively, their O-line's better. They've added some more pieces. Looks like that Thomas guy is a legit player for them. Good staple for them. Running backs, we have to see. Tracy is probably going to be their starting running back, but Scatapoo is definitely a guy that could definitely step into that mold of a starter. And then, of course, Neighbors is great. I mean, Neighbors is another great LSU receiver, that just can jump out of a building, but you have to get other guys the ball outside of Neighbors because they're just going to double team Neighbors all day, especially if you're playing a rookie like Jackson Dart. So is that going to be Jalen Hyatt? I think they still have Slayton, don't they?
Yeah, they still have Slayton.
Yeah, I saw Darius Slayton, so maybe it's Slayton or Jalen Hyatt. I don't know. I mean, their receiving core is kind of weak, so it'll be interesting to see who steps up in training camp. But when you got Neighbors, man, that's like having Justin Jefferson on your team. Like, just throw the damn ball up to him and see what he can do.
Yeah, but you know what? To keep the defense honest, you have to run the ball.
Yeah.
Their best running back on that team right now is Devin Singletary.
Oh, I forgot that. Yeah.
Now they got Tracy and they got Scatterboo, so we'll see if they develop into anything.
Well, Nate, you said that having Neighbors is like having Justin Jefferson. He's not. He's not, JJ.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is he's a guy who can high point the football, and you don't have to like have a great quarterback. Just throw the ball up to him, you know.
Mm-hmm. And I look at it like this: like Justin Jefferson is a freak athlete. Like Justin Jefferson, even though that I think prior to having Aaron Jones, they kind of struggled a little bit. Even Dalvin Cook was on his down years in some way over in Minnesota. Justin Jefferson was still able to catch the ball whenever they pass it to him. You know, I don't think
I'm not saying he is Justin Jefferson. I'm just saying in the utilization, like JJ McCarthy is in the same boat that just Jackson Dart's going to be in. Just throw the ball up to your best guy, and see what happens.
Well, I think Neighbors is a good receiver. He's an LSU receiver. Last year, 4 LSU receivers made the top 7 receivers. Neighbors was one of them. Neighbors is a good receiver, and he missed a few games. Remember that.
Exactly.
That's the issue with him.
He put up over 1,000 yards. Yeah.
The issue with him is health. Yeah. If he can stay healthy for a whole season, then he'll be a weapon. But you got to stay healthy the whole season.
And that's why you need another guy. You need a Slayton or you need a Hyatt to step up, you know, to help out with Neighbors. Because if not, Neighbors is going to get double teamed the whole time. And as a rookie quarterback, you're going to be more of a one read type of dude early on. Who the hell are you throwing the ball to?
Y'all want to hear my take on it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
The New York Giants go 4-13. Brian Daboll gets finished. He gets fired. He's over. They hired Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury one pick in the drafts. What's that guy from LSU? What's the guy's name?
The quarterback?
The quarterback from LSU.
They have Dart. They're not going to go.
Dart is going to struggle big time. They're not going to want him over there. That's another.
Jay with some takes today.
They got 4 quarterbacks right now. They got Russell Wilson. They got Jameson Winston. They got Dart, and they got DeVito.
Boo boo. And with the number 1 pick in the draft, they go after the guy from LSU. Or Archie Manning is eligible to come out this year, isn't he?
He could. The one thing I will say, Jay, on your point there, is there could be some realistic view of that because this is similar to what the Bears had. The Bears had Justin Fields, and then Caleb Williams became available. If Arch Manning or Nusenheimer, I think the guy's name is from LSU, if those 2 dudes ball out this year, you could make an argument that maybe you trade Jackson Dart and maybe you go with one of those big time guys. I don't know. I mean, I think the Giants
Garrett Nussmeier. Now
I'll take Jackson Dart.
Is able to come
out. Right. Exactly.
He's going to go Archie Manning. That's like going to be the consistent.
I mean, it's possible. And the thing is, like with the Giants, they're going to be pretty bad. We all know that.
Yeah.
They're going to be forced.
Offensive. I think their defense is going to keep them in games, but I think their offense just doesn't have enough yet to win games for them.
I don't even think their offense is going to have enough players to average 15 points in a game. Their offense it's not going to be good, man. I don't think they're going to be good on offense at all. And Cam Scatterboo, I hate to say it, but he was impressive at Arizona State. But good job trying to do that in the NFL. Good luck trying to do that in the NFL.
Yeah, he's more of a downhill. He's more of a downhill runner.
Yeah, maybe.
Let me give my bold take, and then we'll move on to the next segment. I think the Giants. I think Abdul Carter has over 10 sacks this year. He's that good.
That's a bold take. It's rare when a rookie can come in and do that kind of stuff.
I tell you what, when you have the balls to go ask Lawrence Taylor for his number,
is that really balls or just stupidity? Because I don't think it was balls. I think
it's both. Because the fact that you even go after Lawrence Taylor and ask the question is pretty ballsy. But it is stupidity in the sense of asking for that number. But I'm just saying, his bravado, the way he kind of carries himself, he's a very confident guy. Watch out for him.
You better be lucky he ran into the OG LT and not the cocaine laden LT, because LT would have ripped his head off for that one.
LT scares the shit out of me regardless. He could be in the retirement and scare the shit out of me.
Dude is fucking nuts.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, still one of the best linebackers ever, though. Right.
Don't smoke crack.
Don't smoke crack.
All right. Moving on.
Anyway, moving on.
Next week,
of course.
Or the next. Sorry, real quick, B. Next one, we'll do the. We're gonna do the West.
Well, yeah, we could do the West. So we could do. I mean, we're gonna eventually have to do the Souths for both sides, and that's gonna be painful enough.
Yeah. Okay, we do South. Let's do the South first.
We'll do the South. Yeah, we'll do the South.
So
I'm sure some people will love that. James J Train will like that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That's gonna be easy.
LT once walked on the moon, really?
Maybe when he's coked up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But we're gonna switch over to the Netflix special quarterbacks. Presented quarterbacks Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, and Kirk Cousins for the second time in a new home. And for me, obviously, I watch all of those series anyway. It doesn't make a difference who is in it to me, because I like football. So, I mean, the bias factor was Jared Goff. But actually, I learned a lot more about Joe Burrow and Kirk Cousins.
I usually just go to the line, like when Amon did it, went to the Amon part. I didn't care about anything else, but I watched the whole thing with
And let me tell you something, man. Being a quarterback in the NFL has its trials and tribulations. And, we could talk about Kirk Cousins till we're blue in the face that he stole money from everybody. The dude is a legitimate quarterback. In fact, a lot of the fans in the Saints not the Saints, but the Atlanta organization, got on him last year because he was playing hurt. Well, there's a reason why he was playing hurt. He got hit in his shoulder. He didn't reveal that fact immediately as an injury because he wanted to keep playing. He's an OG. He wants to keep playing. What quarterback don't? But he was ineffective after that point. But when he was effective, the dude set the single games mark for passing yards for Atlanta at one point in the season. The dude was a very capable quarterback. He's a capable quarterback. He is. Can I
piggyback one thing
on
Kirk Cousins real quick? I was surprised that he went to Raheem and basically told him that he's struggling with the offense, with emotions and all that. He's not the player that he should be. I kind of felt like he dug himself a grave there already, because that gave Raheem motivation, and it's like one of those wait and see approaches. Like, if he starts sucking, I'm going to pull his ass and we're going to put in Michael Penix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but with that being said, like, think about this. They were going to put in Michael Penix anyway. They picked him in the first round.
If Kirk didn't struggle, they would not have. Penix would not have. They were going to.
It's no doubt in my mind that they were going to play him anyway, because it seemed like they wanted to. If they didn't want to play him, they wouldn't have put him in. After that, there were no more Kirk Cousins, and that's why I have a new profound respect for him, because like he just said, after everything of the injuries, after even him going to Raheem Mostert saying, hey, like, I'm not really doing well, and him having that conversation, it was 100% transparency, because that's what a good teammate would do, a good player would do.
No, I the way he handled it, I totally agree that was class act.
I think that, and Kirk Cousins, he even came out and spoke on it, saying that he felt blindsided when they drafted Michael Penix. Because you paying him all that money, and then you draft somebody that's going to eventually come in, and who could come in a couple of games into the season and start.
But here's my thing, Jay, with that is that as a quarterback, the one thing you cannot let waver is your confidence. And he let his confidence waver to where he had to tell his coach that I'm not playing the way I should be. That's a death mark when you talk to your coach and you say, I'm not playing the way I should be. Because now the coach has that using that against you if he makes a move, which he did.
In a sense, yes. But think about this. Don't you think that his confidence also could have been fading due to them drafting Michael Penix and him knowing at the back of his
you got to
mind,
suck it up, Buttercup.
You're
getting paid a lot of money.
If I make the smallest bit of mistake, they're going to replace me and have this young guy in, and this could be the end of me here in the city.
It's NFL, buddy. It's NFL.
They signed him to what, a 2-year contract? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it a 2-year contract?
Something like that, yeah.
So, I mean, they weren't going to keep him after 2 years. They just needed somebody to fill in that spot. The thing about Cousins, and he knows this is the NFL, this is the business, and he even said that a couple of times. He was blindsided by the Penix thing, but at the same time, he still mentored Penix. He still was out there telling them what to do, and what in these certain situations.
He was being a good backup. He was being a good backup.
Robbie, Penix throwing a perfect spiral doesn't make him a good quarterback. Peyton Manning had whack-ass passes, and he was one of the greatest quarterbacks.
You see Goff
sometimes has those passes that be like, oh, shit. But it doesn't really – as long as it gets to point A, from point A to point B, that's all that counts. But anyway.
Got the speed, velocity to it,
Yeah. But Cousins, I think he was put in a bad situation. I think Atlanta just misjudged what they did. I do. I think they screwed up. It didn't turn out to be a screw up near the end of the season. Penix didn't show a lot. He showed enough, I guess, that he can be a starter. So I don't know if that's going to be something. I mean, being a backup might be.
Yeah. And I look at it this way. When you told me about Kirk Cousins before I had actually watched the show, I'm like, okay, let me see what it's about. But that gave me a new profound respect for him. I think they really just mishandled the whole situation as a whole because Kirk Cousins is still a good quarterback. He's still very manageable. He can still run a team. He can still win games. And you go out and you have Michael Penix. And what I'm saying is that with the Penix pick, I think that killed Kirk Cousins' confidence well before he stepped on the field. You know what I mean? Because you pay me this money. I came here. We negotiated. We talked. And now you're picking my possible replacement. And let's be honest, they said that Penix was the most NFL-ready quarterback when he had gotten drafted. Because they're like, hey, he played in a national championship game. He stayed a couple extra years in college. He has multiple offenses under his belt. He could possibly come in and start with the Atlanta Falcons today. But he didn't because they had Kirk Cousins. Now, I think that played a huge role in Kirk Cousins' confidence. And
nobody wants to be outseated as a starter. Yeah, nobody wants to be outseated as a starter, especially for a guy who's never played in the NFL. So it's totally understandable what you're saying. I was surprised when he said that if I knew that they were going to go Penix, I would have stayed in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That was interesting because to me, Minnesota did not want him back. But apparently he wanted to stay in Minnesota, but they couldn't make the numbers work. And that's why they went with Sam Darnold. Or I'm sorry. So it went with Sam Darnold because he had a cheaper option and drafted JJ. So, I thought that was really interesting that he said that because that basically tells me that, dude, you were just chasing the money.
Well, I don't know if he was chasing the money. I think that you got to remember he has people in Atlanta. A lot of his family is in Atlanta. His kid was born in Atlanta. That's why his kid's name is Turner. He's got a lot of Atlanta roots. But what he was saying is
heartbroken about leaving Minnesota too.
Minnesota. Well, his wife liked Minnesota, and it was a good life for them there too. Sure. He's got to go. If he doesn't feel wanted in Minnesota, and I think that's the reason why he left. I don't think it was necessarily chasing the money. I think he thought he deserved so much money, and Minnesota said, "Well, we'll give you this, but you don't deserve any more." And Atlanta was out there, "Hey, we'll give you a bank."
Yeah, and it was
starting position here, come.
Yeah, and it was to Minnesota's detriment that happened that way because they gave him a guaranteed deal his first time. And he wanted another guaranteed deal after the second time. And Minnesota was like, hell no, we're not giving you more guaranteed money, especially after you blew your Achilles. Well, it's understandable, And the Falcons were dumb enough to give him that big-ass contract, and now they move off of him.
And Yinzer, I don't think they should have got Romeo Duze. I don't think they needed another offensive weapon. What they needed was defense. Their defense. They got a guy that's a head coach, Raheem Morris. He's a defensive guy. So I mean, I don't understand that whole whatever. Sonya says the best. Atlanta screwed themselves. I mean, everybody knows Atlanta screwed themselves.
Minnesota screwed themselves.
Might come back and work for him if Penix works out for him, but Penix has been put together with needles and sewing thread, because he's been injured throughout his career too.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope it works out for Penix as individual, but Atlanta, boy, they took a big chance. They did. And what they did,
and now they
drafted
a
him.
rookie quarterback, and the reality is that Cousins is now a very high paid backup quarterback, and heaven forbid if something happens with Penix, then you put Cousins in. But let's be honest. Let me just finish this last point. But with Cousins, let's be honest, he's a shell of himself. Like that Achilles injury took a lot out of him. He doesn't move well. And that elbow injury really affected his game. He threw a lot of turnovers, and if you don't make those turnovers, they probably stay with him because they were still winning. That's the thing, is that usually when you see quarterbacks getting pulled, they're not winning. He was winning, but it kind of reminded me, if you ever watched the replacements, Falco was terrible. Falco was terrible in those games, but they won. And they were trying to bring in somebody else that was better at the quarterback position. That's what I think Penix is.
Well, the based on the replacements, that was just basically they're replacing the professionals, and then the professionals cross the line.
No. I'm saying when he was playing as a replacement, he was terrible.
He played good when he was replacing. He had one bad game.
He was all right. But
he had one bad game.
He won.
But they managed to win. And just like you said, it was better to win or better to get lucky than to lose.
He was winning. He was winning ugly. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. But anyway, the point of the matter is, Cousins had, as soon as he hurt that shoulder in the Saints game, that was it. All his mobility in his arm went downhill, and I just think that he should have took himself out the game, and then they should have went to Penix earlier. I think too much pride in the fact that he was getting paid all that money. Got him, made him responsible for the team.
And I don't know if he said it in the show. I don't know if it's him or Burrow or Goff that said it. One of them said it, but he says that if you sit out, that might be the last time you play because somebody's trying to get your job, which is true.
Yeah,
I think it was him.
I talked about that with who was it? Drew Brees. He was referring that to.
Oh
Drew
yeah,
Brees
yeah. He never gave his backup any. He never gave his
even if the backup was crap, he wouldn't give him no kind of hope.
That's what it was. I love that.
Yeah. So
let's talk about Burrow because that's an interesting dude.
Yeah.
Let me say this about Burrow. I've wondered why Burrow has such a big interest in fashion. Now I know. It was his mom. Because his mom dressed him all the time and got him nice clothes and all that. The difference between because my mom, I'll admit this, I'm a mama's boy. My mom would buy my clothes. She would dress me. But the difference in me and Burrow is that Burrow actually took extraness. And I made that word up myself. Took extraness into his style. Like he would iron his clothes. He would put on, he would look for good fits. To where me, I just put on something that didn't smell. All right. Like I didn't care.
Yeah. So, someone else who was like that really quick? Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
His mom always dressed him and his sibling, his sister in the best clothes.
But that's why he's so high maintenance
and all that stuff. It'd be that way, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
He's a really weird dude because I've never seen a guy who's very high maintenance and into his fashion, but also plays games when it's on his spare time.
Yeah.
And just some of his answers to me, he does look like Macaulay Culkin. He's like an adult Macaulay Culkin, 100%. But the thing with Burrow too, with me, what I took away from him is that he just seemed like a guy who at times didn't give a shit. Like he just had that mentality of like, well, we don't make the playoffs. Well,
nonchalant
next year. Yeah, very nonchalant. Like to where it's like if it would have been Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, you'd be throwing shit at the TV left and right. Oh, you freaking Denver didn't get us in. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just so Joe Cool. That's his nickname. He is Joe Cool. Like no high, no lows, and he's not the leader that you want from a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning. He's going to lead by example, and he's only going to say, like he said, he's only going to say stuff unless he needs to say
Hey,
stuff.
Yoli.
How you doing, Yoli?
What's up? And he's also his antics are kind of weird on the field, like when he got with the coach and all that, and just the way he was kind of carrying himself. Like he didn't get really overly pissed when they were losing or the defense was sucking ass. It was just weird, you know.
No,
like,
he did not.
Even Stafford.
He was going to buy a Batmobile, but he did not because his place got broken into.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's just so he's an interesting character. I mean, he's I love him as a competitor. I think he's a great competitor, but he just seems weird sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, no, one thing I like about Joe Burrow is his composure. He has a lot of composure. Now, when you seen that footage of him when they played Tennessee and they were winning, but he kind of had a little mini meltdown over on the sideline. That's that competitiveness that I like from players. They want to perfect their game.
Thank you.
They want to perfect their game. They want to perfect their art. And Joe Burrow has always been that type of person. I've been following him since he's been at LSU. Actually, I've been following him since he's been at OSU because that's a big rival of Michigan, and I don't want anything good for Ohio State. But he's always been that hot, fierce competitor that is going to come out playing like his hair is on fire every Saturday or Sunday.
Go ahead, B. You're gonna say something?
I think that the thing about him not really caring about certain things is not something we say. Some players show leadership and some players don't. Some players show excitement and some players don't.
Exactly.
Goff isn't exactly. We go to Goff. Goff isn't exactly. I mean, you could see the frustration when they lost the playoff game against Washington. The dude was almost in tears, even when he was on a podium giving his post game speech about it was his fault. He could have played better. Blah blah blah. Which I'm glad he said because it was his fault. Anyway, anyway, and I love Jared, but he takes accountability. Where Joe is kind of like that in a way where, I mean, he was sitting there eating a sandwich and watching the Broncos game. It was like he was chill about that. And if you ever noticed too in that part, he also watched when the Lions were playing. Not who were they playing? I think they were playing the Titans or something, Jacksonville or something. He had them on the screen, and he was like, "Yeah, Goff's doing this thing today." And
he did.
But he's very casual about certain things because that's what kind of guy he is. He's that's why his name is Joe Cool. You can't fret about. Well, I mean, and I get what he says. He couldn't do anything about Denver winning against Kansas City. He couldn't do nothing about it. It was out of his hands. I mean, the team didn't perform well, and he knew that. They performed well the last few when they had to perform, but at the beginning of the season was when it counts too. You don't just start playing in week 8 and think you're going to win a playoff spot. And he said that in so many sorts of ways. And getting after his offensive line or talking to the coach about his offensive line screwing up that one time, even when they won 37, that shows some kind of passion. That to me, that's passion. Passion is basically what you want to see in your quarterback.
Let me piggyback on that real quick because I had a problem with how Zach Taylor approached that. Like, this is why Zach Taylor is going to get fired, because when your team has that many offensive penalties, and you say you go to your quarterback who's pissed for losing, you honor that, because when your team is winning and you're still pissed and you want to get better. That's strive for greatness.
Yeah.
And for Zach Taylor to say, we won. Dude, we played like shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, how many times has Dan Campbell won good and then – huh?
I don't think he's going to get fired, though.
If they start slow again.
He might be another one that might be on a hot seat, too, because if they go into this season and they paid all these guys this money, they're expecting them to get in the playoffs, period.
Yeah, after this season, and especially if they perform like crap this season, then I'd say it's a little bit hot. But
or
I don't
if they
think
just
let's just say they go to the playoffs and they lose who's like maybe first, second round. Okay, I don't think he gets fired. I think he gets another
Jay,
crack.
if they start off bad in the first part of the season like they have been the last 3 years,
That is
his
a
ass
different
is
story.
gone. His
That's
ass
a
is
different
gone.
story. Now, if they start bad, I will definitely say that, hey, man, the expectation was to come in and take the league by storm again, and we're going to, make a run at this thing. But if he can stay consistent and if they can win 9-10 games,
Nice.
don't see them winning. Thank you, Sonia.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow has all the talent in the world. My question is, how much does he really love football? Because he talks a lot about fashion. And on top of that, did you guys catch what was his first sport he played that he really wanted to play? Basketball.
Oh, well, I mean,
he didn't really fall in love with football till later.
I mean, that doesn't mean he doesn't have any passion for the game.
No, like but I'm just saying he doesn't live and breathe football. Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, no, he does. He's got to, because he's a quarterback. He's got to do that.
It's different,
but the passion is different. See, his passion is different. I can tell he's passionate about what he does is because of the whole winning and then throwing a temper tantrum on the sideline because his offensive line, not temper tantrum, but throwing a hissy fit because the offensive line had like 8 damn holding calls.
But wouldn't any quarterback, wouldn't any sorry ass quarterback do that because you have to delay yourself 8 times? In a game?
Not any sorry ass quarterbacks would do that because they're sorry ass quarterbacks. That's the point.
I know
he's got patience. He's a good quarterback. He's going to make sure he's passionate about it. You know what I'm saying?
Just have to get that opportunity. Really, I mean,
like I said, different guys do different quarterbacks do different things in different positions. Like I said, Tom Brady was the ultimate leader. Peyton Manning was an ultimate leader. I mean, Joe Montana, John Elway was even ultimate leader.
He's not any of those guys, in my opinion.
But he's not any of those guys. But Goff is not any of those guys either.
No.
And he really is Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is probably closest trying to be a leader as any of those two are.
Kirk Cousins is the voice. He's the voice.
Think about this. And I look at Joe Burrow as a multi-talent athlete. Like Matthew Stafford can play baseball really well. He loves baseball. You know what I mean? Did y'all know he was Clayton Kershaw's like?
Yes.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, they're teammates. Yeah.
Okay,
where you been at, man? We're Lions fans. We know everything about Stafford we can possibly want to know.
All right. So real quick.
Hold on really quick, Nate. I look at that and be like, Joe Burrow, I think he has a lot of passion, and I think he has a lot more passion than anybody really recognizes. Mm-hmm. I think it all comes down to composure. It's his composure, his ability to stay calm under high stress situations, not freak out like you see.
I think he is composed. I think he is a very composed guy.
Yeah.
My thing is that, do you have that fire in your belly to be great? And I don't know if he does.
I think he do, man, because if he didn't have that fire to be
he
great,
should, because the skill is all there. Money. He's got all the skill.
He will be demanding more money. He wouldn't have taken a pay cut to let Jamar Chase and a couple guys get extensions on the team. You know what I mean? But, he's about his players. He's about the team, and he's about the game. Think about it. He took a pay cut, so his receiver and Jamar Chase can get a bigger contract extension.
Yeah, but he won't pay Trey Hendricks.
So, I mean, that's a different story, though. I get what you're saying.
That's his
he's
going
to take care of the offense.
They're also very close too.
Offhand, besides Tom Brady, who took pay cuts so multiple guys can come back. That's a leader right there. That's a person that says, you know what? I love the guys we got. These are my teammates. These are my friends, and I know we can go to war and we can win with these guys.
But also too,
quarterbacks that would do that in the league.
Also, too, I think if they didn't want to pay Chase, he probably would have demanded a trade.
Nah, they're gonna pay Chase because Joe Burrow said.
I know, but what I'm saying is, they weren't gonna. If they, for whatever reason, they didn't want to pay Chase, he was gonna demand a trade. So he had all the leverage in that situation.
Oh yeah,
and that's it. And that's his buddy from college.
Yeah,
like they're like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%.
But let me ask you this question about Joe Burrow, and then we'll talk about Goff. Does Joe Burrow win an MVP?
Ooh.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say no too.
Okay.
Only because I don't have faith. If you go on I'm going by what I see every season from Cincinnati, and they don't start off well.
Mm-hmm.
They could surprise me, and they could start off going 3-0, 4-0. But And it's not even because of the schedule they have. There's a couple of years where they had an easy schedule in the first, and they still managed. They lost one to Cleveland. Jesus Christ, please, really? So I mean, I gotta, as a team, that teams help you get MVP. Ask golf. It's the fact that if they can do that without, they can get wins early in the season. They can be like 4-1, 5-2, or something like that at the beginning of the season. Then I would consider Joe Burrow being an MVP, because that means he's moving his team. But the fact that they have no defense now, they really don't have a defense now. They really don't have it. They didn't have a defense last year. They really don't have a defense now. And you paid all that money to your offensive players. Now it's on them. The pressure's on them to produce, because you just paid them all that money.
You know what Joe Burrow's story reminds me of? It reminds me of Stafford in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally everything relied on Stafford to be perfect. And even when he was perfect, we still lost games because the team was better.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow's going to have to do that in Cincinnati. Even let's say they re-signed Trey Hendricks and Shamar Stewart pans out, they still need help on that defense.
Yeah.
And offensively, they have two great receivers. Brown is a decent running back. We'll see. But the thing is that, he's going to have to be Superman every game. And I think he knows that. He knows that he's going to have to put on that cape every game and be that guy, just like Stafford.
I'll tell you the example that I used before. He is going to have to be what Goff was to the Lions last year in the last 8 games of the season, because the defense was so screwed up that they couldn't stop anybody. So your best bet is to outscore everybody. And that's what he's going to have to do, but he's going to have to outscore everybody. He's going to have to score at least 40, 50 points a game to win games, because they're going to be putting that much on the defense.
If he can go to a different team, he probably could win an MVP. But I just don't think Cincinnati breeds those types of players. Even though you may have them, I don't think that the coach and the staff was able to pull that out of him, considering, they're not going to – I don't think they're going to win really much this season, but that's a different story.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about the man of the hour, Mr. Jared Goff. Outside of him having a really hot-ass wife, let's talk about what are your takes from his series.
I think I got to see a vulnerable side. I'm sorry, B.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think I got to see a vulnerable side of Jared Goff that I haven't really seen much of before. I mean, obviously we know what he went through with him being traded here and everything, but him talking about the loss to Washington, I think that was one that hurt him a little bit more than that NFC Championship game. And you just kind of see that it stuck with Jared Goff. From having people chanting your name, Jared Goff, to people not wanting to do that anymore. You can tell he kind of picked up on that a little bit. And I mean, it was more like a heart-to-heart kind of thing. I wanted to be upset at Jared Goff as much as I wanted to be upset at Jared Goff. I just couldn't, because I got to see that vulnerable side. And B, you said something that I was going to talk about. When he was up there giving his post-game presser, he was damn near in tears. I've never seen that out of Jared Goff.
Mm-mm.
He showed a lot of emotion in this series.
He showed a lot of emotion. And when they showed that on the TV, did that give y'all the feels of that NFC Championship game the previous year before?
I saw the fans in the crowd. I was thinking the same thing. I was the same way. His wife, when she was crying, I was thinking, that was me after the game was over. I was like, I don't want to talk to him. It was so depressing.
That just kind of gave me a bit of a different perspective on Jared Goff and how much he loves this game as well.
Let me piggyback on your point, because I think you made a great point. When he had that ankle situation, did you see the emotion of that ankle? This is Jared Goff. He doesn't get hurt very often. And he rolled his ankle. I do remember that from the game because I was there. But he took it very hard. It almost like he thought he was going to have be out for weeks on end. That told me this guy really does care about football.
He loves football. You can tell.
He knew he was going to play the next week, and he did. But the thing is that his emotion just to that ankle situation was just shocking. Just shocking.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think one of the things about that whole situation with Jared Goff too is that when he when everybody was talking about him coming to the city and this is where he's going to go die supposedly,
Right.
and the fact that Dan Campbell and Holmes kept calling him on his phone is like, dude,
I
we've been
remember
trying
that.
to get you on
Yeah.
the phone. Answer the damn phone, man. We love you. We want you here, man. We
Oh
want you.
man,
And that just
that
made him feel so elated that actually somebody wanted him because LA did pretty bad job. The Rams did a pretty bad job in that whole situation to the detriment. I mean, looking at the whole thing, you could have just called him in the office, McVay, and said, look, we are going a different route.
yeah,
Sorry, you've been
that
great
was
here, but we
cold.
need. But
That was
just
very
just
cold.
to send him a text, not call him, send him a text to tell him that he is being traded to the Lions. That's pretty messed
This
up,
guy
dude.
got you to the
could you
Super Bowl.
imagine?
Right?
If you don't have a complete collapse, you win the Super Bowl.
Could you imagine you know talking to a girl, y'all get engaged, and then she sends you a text message like, "Hey, I'm done with you," and you see her on social media with another guy, and she gets married. It's like, what the
I
hell?
mean,
What?
You know, like what the hell just happened? But
I mean,
you
you
know,
saw
that's
you saw two quarterbacks literally get screwed over without even knowing that they got screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
In
Uh-huh.
Cousins and Goff.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing is with Goff, I loved how Dan and Brad. It's almost like a rags to riches situation. Like even though Goff was the number one pick, he was cast aside, and literally Dan and Brad were like the guys that are walking down the street and see something. They go like, you know what, we could use this. We can make this great. Like they envision what we see now. And that just speaks to the volumes of Dan and Brad, how well connected
Literal
they are.
diamond in the rough.
But also too, exactly. They see trash or they see gold and shit. I'm not saying jerk off of shit, but that's just my
no, yeah.
analogy. You know, like they
That's what the
literally
league
saw
saw.
this guy was cast away, probably didn't fit what McVay wanted, and probably honestly was maybe too much of a very low key guy for McVay because McVay's an asshole. Like
Yeah,
you have to be like you have to fight with McVay. That's why Stafford makes sense. I agree with you, B, because Stafford's got a very moxie, very aggressive mentality, and McVay loves that because him and him can change barbs all the time. With Goff, he couldn't do that with Goff. McVay's an ass, and Goff just falls in line with whatever McVay says. You know,
yeah.
but you're seeing a Jared Goff now that has literally been free. Like you're seeing him use the F word. You're seeing him screaming and hollering and, you know, just being different, you know, like being more open. And I loved how he was honest and candid about his situation with Sean McVay. He even threw a little barb at Sean McVay in the sense, you know, and so, but he was hurt by it. Like he was devastated by it. And the way he handled it and the way he's done it, just so much respect for him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I got the utmost respect for him. And when, you know, he kind of said it was childish, could have been more mature. I know I'm paraphrasing.
That's what I love that because that was a direct shot at McVay. And you know what? If that's one of his knocks, that's McVay's knock. Is that he can be very mature, very petty, very, you know, like, oh, I'll talk a big game, but if you want to fight, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, and you know that just kind of speaks to Jared Goff's character as well. And for any player, I don't think that I've seen that. I can't really make the comp right now of what the trade was with the Lions and for LA. Like, I can't really give you an equivalent to that because I've never seen anything like it before. But you put any player in that position, 99% of the times they fold. Jared Goff did.
Yeah.
In fact, he got better.
And he embraced.
Not serviceable, but he
embraced coming to a broken franchise and wanting to be a part of the resurrection of it, just like Dan Campbell.
Well, let's be clear about the situation. I don't know if he embraced coming to Detroit, but what it was is he was wanted here. And that was the important part of him because remember, he didn't answer the phone for a while. And Brad Holmes was trying like hell to call him and say,
he doesn't
hey,
answer unknown calls.
Welcome.
He doesn't answer unknown calls.
So when he finally talked to him and felt that both of those guys wanted him, and they really were so happy to get him here. He started getting his confidence back, and when he came here, he's like, "Oh, it's so nice to be wanted." In fact, the locker room scene when they come in after winning the game, and Dan Campbell hands him the ball and says, you're fucking good enough for Detroit."
Love it.
That was awesome.
Love it. And it hit him so hard when he was crying literally when he was talking about how people believed in him, and he went from castaway to being the savior. Real quick before we wrap and get our last segment in, on Jared Goff, I took away this from the whole episode with him. We've got to win a fucking championship with him.
Yeah.
Like, we have to. Like, it's the perfect story if it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because from a guy who went from it's like a roller coaster career for him. Number one pick, highly touted, struggles a little bit, gets to the Super Bowl, loses Super Bowl, gets kicked out, comes to Detroit, resurrects, and wins the Super Bowl. Like, it's the ultimate underdog story.
The first ever Super Bowl for this franchise.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I took away is we've got to win a fucking championship with Jared Goff.
Yeah, it's got to be this year too. I really think there's right now we have I think we have a 2-year window as far as quarterback is concerned for us to win a Super Bowl. I think we need to win it this year. I think we need to be in one this year or win this one this year. I don't care. The Super Bowl has got to be something we see the Lions in this year.
100%.
I'm not saying that if they don't make it again, but it's going to be a repetition thing. And in this league, it's about winning now. And I think Martha Hampton. Martha Hampton. Sheila Hampton. I knew I was saying it wrong. Sheila Hampton is not going to sit there. I think she's that type of owner that she's not going to sit there and she loves Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes right now. She does, because they put together a good team for her. Mm-hmm. But if it starts getting old and we start not winning, we're not winning. We're getting in the playoffs, but we're being Pittsburgh Steelers, basically. We're winning playoff games. We're getting in the playoffs, but we're not winning Super Bowls for the last, 4 or 5 years.
The Yinzer's on line 1. Right. I can feel him type in the comment right now.
Well, of course, it's a Packers podcast. What do you expect, Robbie?
That's why they're called the Whackers.
Yeah.
Because they whack themselves off to our team.
It's going to be 2. If they only win 8, 2 of those 8 wins is coming against Green Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Good point.
How about that?
All right. Let's talk
about. And I just want to adjust this real quick too. Cam went downhill after focusing on fashion. No, he went downhill after he didn't jump on that fumble in the Super Bowl. That's when he went down.
Yep.
Okay.
But anyway, go ahead.
All right. Let's get to fight night, or let's get to the fight results. We were talking about fighting earlier. So what do we got?
They are annoying. Yes, they are. They're very uneducated. I'll put it to you that way.
More like delusional.
I mean, we're all biased about our football teams, but to say a team's going to win 8 games and they got the same roster that they had the year before, and the defensive players that were hurt the year before coming
they're
back.
They're hoping we win 8 games. That's what they're saying.
Idiotic. That's what that is.
It's Packers fans. What do you expect?
Hey, I told them the same thing when I was on another podcast. I told them to say the NFC North is going to be a tight ship. Every team can win that division now. Yeah. And because everybody's placable about playing, everybody's got a good, if anything, in my opinion, I say Detroit and Minnesota are going to be fighting for first place again. I think it's going to be the same standings that happened last year, because I think Green Bay is going to finish 3rd, and I think but everybody's going to have a winning record. That's the point I'm trying to make. Everybody's going to have a winning record. It's just that there's going to be a fight for first place, and it's not going to be Green Bay. It's going to be Minnesota and Detroit. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to play it good enough that offense can move up and down the field, and the defense will be fine.
You just made Jay smile right there.
I mean, I'm just looking at it. KOC is a quarterback whisperer, dude. And he made Sam Darnold look like freaking Steve Young back there.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
But anyway, going to the coach fight poll, We did this poll on one of our Facebook groups to see what they would say, and of course, everybody was not happy with the fact that a lot of people say, "Oh, this is biased because it's from a Lions." Understandably, yes, to a point, but you don't have to vote for Dan Campbell, and this is why we put it in our football group page. So let me put this up here real quick. This is what we had as the finals tally for the top 4 coaches in the fight.
Okay.
D'Amico Ryans, Dan Campbell, Mike Vrabel, and Sean McDermott. Don't
So
ask
we
me
have
how
to
Sean
have a spin off. We have to have a fight off.
Yeah,
we have
that's
to
right.
we have to have a fight off between Dan Campbell and Mike Vrabel. We have to do that.
Well, what we're gonna do is repost this with these 4 guys on there because those were the top 4 guys. Sorry, Yinzer, you didn't have enough Pittsburgh fans to put Mike Tomlin on there. So I mean, he
hell,
did get
I'd
a
take
vote.
Mike Tomlin over Sean McDermott.
Anyway, well, according to the Buffalo Bills fans, Monkey and Sabrina, that's on our fan page, they said that he has a wrestling degree, or he's been in wrestling, so I guess that qualifies you to have some kind of fight in it, whatever. But yeah, so that's what we got right now. So we're gonna have another
D'Amico
vote.
Ryans is interesting, yeah.
I mean, I remember this conversation maybe a couple of years ago, as a matter of fact. And D'Amico Ryans, when he first started coaching in Houston, they said that would probably be a good battle, Dan Campbell versus D'Amico. And I never thought about Mike Vrabel either. Mike Vrabel is a big dude too. He's a big dude. That would be an interesting fight. I would love to see that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jay,
that's true.
Let's get your. What are you mad about today? This time?
All right, real quick. I'm gonna make it really quick. But you know something that I'm mad about? I am mad because I feel like the landscape of college football has totally changed. There's no more big rivals. There's no more big games that people look forward to anymore. And everything just seems like it's a minor league football now. Like college seems like it's minor league football. You got kids out here getting paid a certain amount of money. Like, perfect example. I'm a Michigan guy through and through. But Bryce Underwood is going to make more money as a freshman quarterback than some NFL starters.
Arch Manning is making $6 million a year,
and I'm sitting over here like, what the hell? What if this kid goes out and be a bust? No, I'm not looking forward to it. I don't want that to happen. That's our guy. But dude, something has to change. They have to put a cap on it. They have to do something with this NIL.
So you're in favor of what Dion said. Dion said he wants a cap on the.
I'm definitely in favor of that because it's not fair that you got kids, and I know there's different money with boosters and donors from these colleges and universities. They pay the money mostly, but at the end of the day, there has to be some type of control because one, that hurts recruiting. 2, that's taking the game out of it because you have kids that will come from California that don't know about the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. They just here because they're getting paid $5 million to come here, and they don't care about anything else but the money. I mean, let's just be honest, and especially with this extended college football playoff, I really want to talk about that because now that you got 16 teams in the college football playoffs, and you are literally taking out the whole thing of if you lose a game, it's over for you, or it's possibly over for you. Now you can lose 2 or 3 games. You don't have to be the division winner to go to the championship. It's like, come on, man. That's what college football was all about.
But also to push back on that, like you losing your first game is not so big anymore because the season's so long. So look at Ohio State. Like they lost early, and they finished strong. Look at Michigan. If Michigan loses an early one, and they run the table, they're going to be in because of that.
And they can still go to the Big Ten.
So that's a good thing.
Wasn't Ohio State 10-3?
No, they were. They lost only 2 games. Remember, it was the Michigan and to Oregon. And I was just going to say that they lost to Michigan.
But they lost one. They lost one early. They lost one early. I think it was.
That was against Oregon.
Yeah, it was early, but they were able to make up for it and get in the playoffs.
And what pissed me off is that your national championship winner wasn't even the winner of the Big Ten. They weren't even the winner of the Big Ten, so they had that week off. That was like an extra week of rest.
Sure.
Whereas Penn State came in that following week and played.
Not to mention, they spent $20 million on their roster.
I'm sitting over here like, what the hell is going on? And they spent $20 million on the roster. Horrible. You lost 2 games.
Yeah, I think with college, I agree with you in some aspects. I think that players should be paid, but there has to be a cap to what a team can spend. Because go ahead.
And there's got to be something that goes on with transfer portals too. Going to every year, going to another school has got to be out. And you should have a contract. If you're going to sign these contracts, you're going to sign these kids to money like that. Then you need contracts that are stable. You need people are saying 2-year contracts, which is fair. I can understand that. I was saying more like 3-year contracts, because 3 years, at least you know where you stand at on your team. If you don't feel like that you're getting a fair shake on your team, then you can go to another team to do that. But
I heard a good idea on talk radio about the whole NIL thing, and I agree with it. If a player wants to leave their college team and go somewhere else, the other team should buy out that player. So therefore, they get money back in return. They get their player. Or I'm sorry, the team that's losing the player gets money, and then the other team gets the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually like that idea, because
that's fair.
You gotta help out that team, and also too, another thing I'll add on to the situation is that when a coach gets fired, you have to have a limit of how many players can leave. Mm-hmm. Because when a coach gets fired, almost 50% of the roster is gone. And the team has to make up 50% of that roster with transfer portals. Mm-hmm. And so I think there has to be a limit to where only 20% of your roster can actually go into the portal that year, because these guys can't just jump ship just for the hell of it.
No.
Like, you have to be able to be loyal. And who knows, maybe the coach that's replacing this other coach is better. Give them a chance. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I agree with you, B. I think there's got to be some changes, but starting off first, there has to be a cap on the NIL. Because I'll tell you right, Texas,
and a mandatory 2 years that you stay with the school. So that way, if you stay with the school 2 years, I think that gives you enough time to say, hey, you know what, you either belong or you don't belong. And you still
Texas,
get enough 2 years after that of eligibility, maybe 3, if you want to go to another team and win.
And no disrespect to Michigan, but Michigan doesn't have Texas or Texas A&M money.
They got more.
They
got more. Michigan has more.
I don't know about that.
Now
we got oil money, bro. Just oil money.
Now Texas is independently owned and have their own coverage.
Yeah.
You do know Michigan is one of the Power 5 schools in this country, right?
Sure, no, I do, but
so they get money.
They have boosters and donors that's not even here in this country.
But what? Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, fine, forget Michigan. But what I'm saying is, like, some of these teams don't have money that, like, a Texas, a Michigan, Oregon, all that. Like, they don't have that kind of money to throw out there. They're very limited in what they can afford for a player.
Now, if we talk
well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When we have a cap, and the cap should be a cap towards the positions that you're in. Like, a quarterback gets paid so much money coming in there. And I had this argument with J Train about this, because he said, well, they should be paid on their potential. I know. No. It's
How do you know what their potential is?
Because they might be a high school guy and be number one in the country, but you haven't proven anything in college yet. This is what I have a problem with the NFL in. Stop paying these dudes money for potential. Let them show their potential, then pay them the money. This is a problem.
You have a big problem with players not getting paid.
That's why players, when they get paid, I mean, they and they're crap. You just invested in crap.
But the thing is, B, the NFL is different from the college aspect, because in college, you don't know what your predecessor is making. In the NFL, you know what your predecessor made, and you want either equivalent or more than what that person gets paid. That's why in the draft, you see a lot of these players holding out.
And that should be dependent on if you are equal or equivalent to that person that's getting that pay. there's a lot of folks, because it's a market now. It's a market value. You don't have to be great to get that market value.
It's a very
And that's why it's the whole thing. If these players, if these college and NFL are printing money hand over hand, that's the problem with America right now. Not taking care of America. Take care of America. You got money. Take care of America. You got people out there. You got people out there hungry, and you up here paying these damn quarterbacks who ain't crap, or any of these players.
That's why I don't feel sorry for them, man. Because you lost $2 million, I probably will never see that kind of money in my life.
Right, and this is the same thing that I'm saying about college too, because these kids never before saw the money that they see. So,
absolutely.
You got to roll, Jay.
No, I was just going to say something, but be kind of.
Oh, go
ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, these kids. I don't want to pay these kids based off of potential. I want to pay them off of what we know they're going to do. And if you, it's good to be like, hey, we got the number one recruit in the country, number one position player, but end of the day, you're paying them $13 million when just a couple of years ago, you got in trouble for buying a kid a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And he's probably not even going to be the day one starter. So.
But it's just also hard too in college, because when you see them playing in high school, how good do you know they're going to be against collegiate athletes? And then on top of that, when against collegiate athletes, how well do you think they're going to play against pro athletes? It's always a step above in the competition. I think a cap first and foremost, and then just like we have franchise tags in football, I think there should be a tag in college. Like a quarterback can only make $5 million, or a receiver can only make $2 million.
Yeah.
And you have to. I think what college is going into, and Jay kind of touched on it, saying about the minor league football, it's becoming a mini NFL. There's a GM now. There's going to be a cap. Players are going to get paid for contracts. There's going to be situations where you can make more money if you ball out, incentives and all that. And so I think it's just going to that route. Because
there should be a commission in place that strictly handles NIL money.
NIL is 5 years old, and they have not yet fixed a lot of this stuff. And that's ridiculous, because when you formed the NIL, you should have had all this stuff. You should have saw the future of all this stuff. And this is just thrown together because a bunch of kids were hollering about, I should not get paid. And to they're right. I mean, the university or colleges are using them for their benefit, and they're not getting paid for that benefit. So, yes, I understand that point. But at the same time, that's why the NIL was formed, because kids kept bitching about it. So they just threw it together instead of thinking about wholesale, how is it going to be in the future.
And here's the thing about the NIL too. If you want to keep this NIL the way it is, then you're going to get rid of recruiting. Because basically recruiting is now a bid. How much are you willing to pay me to go to your school? I don't care how good the school is. I don't care how many championships you have. How much are you going to pay me to go play for you? Like, I'll give you an example. Texas Longhorns, one of their big NIL donors is Lamborghini. So whenever the guys come on campus, they have all the Lambos lined up. And I'm sorry, but not everybody has Lamborghini dealerships in their states.
Right.
And your kid that's coming on campus, what goal are you setting yourself? Like, you come to our school, we're going to give you a Lamborghini, but we don't care how you play. We just want you. We don't care anything about you. We just want you to come to our school, and we'll give you a Lambo. Like, it's getting ridiculous. So like I said, if that's the case, then get rid of recruiting. We don't need recruiters anymore, because usually recruiting was supposed to be you go out and pitch to your guys why your school is the best to go play for, whether it's prestige, whether it's championships, whether it's coaching, whether it's whatever. Now it's just about who's going to pay me more. Like all these top recruiting classes, the first thing people say is like, how much do they pay for it?
And where's the onus on education?
Yeah, no shit, right?
If you're getting paid a shit ton of money, why the hell do you want to go to any of your classes?
What's up, Jay?
General studies.
Yeah. And the sad part about it is, if you look at the facts, majority of the people in college don't make the NFL.
No.
So,
sure don't.
I mean, there's only like 300 spots in the draft or something
And
like
think
that.
about this. You're giving a kid that's 17, 18 years old, a kid. That's not an adult. That's still a kid.
Yeah.
That type
No,
of
fully functioning on that.
You see people in Vegas. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but Henry Ruggs. I mean, a guy went from having nothing to having the absolute best and being in a party city like Las Vegas. Look at where it landed him. You know, now I know there was a lot of things that played a factor into his demise, but you're going to give a 17, 18-year-old kid that type of money. They're going to go to LA. They're going to go to down to Miami, Baton Rouge, and all these other
It's the maturity factor, Jay. You called it out. It's the maturity factor.
And you want to give him that kind of money. You know, look at Carson Beck. Carson Beck knew he was going to get good money. Carson Beck knew he didn't have to be in Georgia. He could literally just go down there to the University of Miami and live his best life. Yeah. Just based off of his name.
You're right. You're right. You could.
But
yeah. So
I digress.
Yeah.
That's what I'm at.
Yeah. No. That was a good one, Jay, because that's been a big thorn in a lot of people's sides, especially because people love college football, and college football is starting to become more of like a business, and it's not so much the pageantry and the excitement, you know. So we'll see what happens. I don't see anything changing really. I think it's going to get worse. But if they want to definitely put a stop to it, got to put a cap. Anything in sports, if you want to put stops to crazy spending, put a cap on it. Because if there's a cap, people follow. I mean, look at the NBA. Now with this new second apron, most teams can't even afford to pay the luxury tax because it's so extreme. So what they're having to do is they're having to develop their young players and draft well, which is the way it should be done, and offer those extensions to the homegrown players that you've developed, not paying some person that you've never seen play for your team a boatload of money. So we will see. But fellas, this has been a great show. I know it's a little bit long-winded today, but we hadn't been for a whole week, so I'm okay with it. We had a lot of good content. Shout out to people that were on the show the whole time.
Yes, sir.
Brent, Robbie, Sonia, and even John, Yoli, John, you know, John.
One comment.
The Packer fan. And that's okay. He just comes in there to troll. That's all.
Hey.
Other than that, I mean, everybody, thanks all the views. Enjoyed all the views. Thank you so much.
Please like and subscribe to our show.
Do go ahead and subscribe on YouTube with us. Share.
We got a podcast.
Yep. We're on TikTok, YouTube, IG, X.
We're all over. Real quick, next week's show will be our training camp preview.
Is it next week or is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks.
27th. Yeah, 27th.
Oh, it's okay. So, sorry guys. So what's on docket for next week?
Next week will be the AFC, NFC South, and any NFL news. We'll probably have the finals of the coach fight.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be probably a shorter show next.
Kind of like just a recap of the show. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, please like and subscribe to our show. Love to hear feedback if y'all have anything. Fellas, any final parting comments? Thank you, Sonia.
I am keenly making 53. Oh. No, I don't have anything. I'm good. I've talked myself to death.
Yeah, we did talk a lot. But yeah, next week will be fun, and then training camp's right around the corner, boys. 2 weeks away.
Yes.
Lions will be back. I know y'all watching the videos, getting excited. It's going to be a fun year.
Hall of Fame coming up for the Lions.
Yes, sir. Against the Chargers. The Chargers. All right. Well, as always, fuck the Vikings, fuck the Packers, fuck the Bears. We're the One Ass Cheek 3 Toes signing off. Y'all have a good evening. We'll see y'all next Sunday, same time, same place. Adios.
Peace.
One ass cheek, 3 toes, we coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we on the rise. Gibbs making plays, electrifying the game. J-Mo and Laporta catching bombs, putting points on the name. Penny holding it down. like Nell, bringing the pressure every single time. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we coming for the throne. Detroit Lions roar, ain't no stopping our zone. From Ford Field to the streets, we represent the pride. One ass cheek, 3 toes, we on the rise. We ain't backing down, ain't no fear in our eyes. We hungry for that win, we reaching for the skies. Detroit Lions forever, that's the battle cry. One ass cheek, 3 toes to the day we die.